Is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Knicks Cast channel. I am here joined by Dylan, backer of Empire Sports Media and Fireside Knicks. Tonight, we will be calling the first game of the NBA's in-season tournament, Group A of the NBA's in-season tournament between the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers. These are two teams that have mightily struggled despite high expectations. Knicks stand at 4-5. The Philadelphia 76ers stand at 2-7. So, Dylan, I'm going to let you have your first thoughts. It's been a while since been on a Knicks game stream dating back to Big Blue in the Bronx channel with the playoffs. So offer your first thoughts, man. I think we have the same mentality regarding this team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about them right now. We're only 9 games in, so there's reasonable concerns. I think the defense is the biggest concern of them all. Especially the interior defense. The Knicks have given up over 50 points in the paint per game this year already, which is more than their average last season. And they've had some other misfortunes as well defensively. Giving up a lot of 3-pointers. They gave up 21 threes to the Pacers on Sunday, and of course, they had the Boston game where they gave up 29 threes. Those have been the two biggest things defensively that have been the big concerns is the defense. I think a lot of people have been talking about Karl-Anthony Towns' rim protection. It hasn't been great, and it's a little bit better than some make it sound, but it's not great either though at the same time. And I think you kind of expected that though when you added an primary offensive big instead of having a guy like Mitchell Robinson down there who's primarily defensive. Now I will say that we are missing the presences of Achua and Mitchell Robinson big time, especially off the bench. Because yes, Towns has been great offensively so far this year, but you really miss Achua and Robinson's interior presence, the offensive rebounds, the defense, the rim protection, all that stuff. You're really missing that because Jericho Sims has provided very little of that, if any at all. And it seems like Thibodeau refuses to play any of the rookies, which is kind of alarming because we can't be running a 7-man rotation this early in the year. There's really no justifying that. I did see though that Cameron Payne is back tonight and Deuce McBride is also available, so we have an extra body. So looks like we'll have at least an 8-man rotation tonight. But I do think that at some point we should see a little bit of maybe some Tyler Kolek minutes, maybe even Dottier minutes. You got to do something. You have to. And also, you got to win this game too. The 76ers are shorthanded, as they have been all year. You have Embiid making his debut, but no Tyrese Maxey. So, they're still shorthanded. The Knicks should be able to win this game. I do think it's going to be a close game, though, and looking forward to it. Playoff rematch should be exciting.
Yeah, I have because as you said, there's not really much panic with this team. The Knicks, as you said, as you literally just told me, Campaign and Deuce McBride are available to play. Deuce McBride was questionable with an illness. I think Campaign was dealing with some sort of hamstring or
McBride
leg
had a
injury
knee
of some
issue,
sort. He was out for a
actually.
few
He
games.
actually had a knee issue.
Oh, okay. I thought illness was probably questionable into
Yeah.
yesterday's game, or I should say Sunday's game
Yeah.
against the Indiana Pacers. But I agree with you in terms of the rotation aspect. I think Tibbs, we all know he's very tactical with the rookies. He's like, he's he wants to humble them, and he doesn't want them to develop bad habits. But the issue is the Knicks are shorthanded as you see it right now. Precious Achiuwa and Mitchell Robinson are out. You obviously are short on a little bit on guards, and the idea is as Jeff was saying when we were talking about earlier or I should say our preview show back in October a little bit. And he's like, you know what? The goal of this team is not to reach your ceiling in November and December or October. It's to reach the ceiling in April, May, and June. And you really don't want guys playing 40 minutes a game in the month of November. That is not sustainable whatsoever. Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, I believe Deuce was the only one off the bench Sunday who got double-digit minutes. Tyler Kolek had 2 or 3 or somewhat. Same thing for, I believe, it's Jericho Sims, and he hasn't played well. There's one thing that he does well, and I think that's screening, but everything else defensively he has just not picked up. And that's why the presence of Precious Chua and Mitchell Robinson is so big. And I do think, in a little bit of a sense as well, we're almost heading to game time. I think Karl-Anthony Towns' defensive struggles, obviously they're well documented, but I think some people are making this too much of an overreaction because if you want to point to one thing that's been bad, I'd say it's Mikal Bridges' defense, and his screen navigation has been very lackluster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't disagree. Mikal Bridges has been kind of rough. I mean, his numbers overall look fine, but it definitely not worth 5 first-round picks. And the defense drop off is huge. I mean, he's allowing his opponents to shoot 41% from three this year when he's the defender, and 46% or 48%, excuse me, from the floor, which is not exactly the Bridges we asked for. You know, when he was first
No.
team all defense 2 years ago with Phoenix, he was allowing opponents to shoot 34% from three. Of course, that's a solid figure, but that's a decent, that's better defense. You know, you're forcing them to take tough shots. So I just need to see better effort on that end. I do think it'll come at some point. I still think he's trying to adapt to his role a little bit, but yeah, it hasn't been the cleanest of starts, but this is the game you really can make a statement, turn things around, because then after this you have a pretty easy rest of the week. Even though there's 2 back-to-backs thrown in there, you have an easier schedule ahead of you. So really, you want to get off to a good start here.
So look in the Knicks starting lineup is the usual: Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns. For the Philadelphia 76ers, as Dylan had mentioned, Tyrese Maxey is out. So have Kyle Lowry, Kelly Oubre Jr., Paul George, who has struggled mightily this season, Caleb Martin, and Joel Embiid, who is making his season debut in Game 1 of this Group A tournament. Some familiar faces, obviously Lowry and Embiid, facing the Knicks in the playoffs last season. A playoff rematch. Here we go, as this ball is batted up. And it looks like the Sixers have it. So Caleb Martin has the perimeter, actually going to call time because of the clock. So early clock delay, but the Sixers still have the ball. Kyle Lowry will inbound. He'll hand off to Caleb Martin at the top of the key, defended by Josh Hart. Hands off to Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid in the mid-range, looking for a man to pass. Inside, shot is good that time from Paul George as he was found cutting baseline. So it is 2-0 Philadelphia 76ers. And ball just gets away that time.
We're going to have to time it up. We're going to have to time up
Yeah,
these streams
absolutely.
when we're at the next commercial break.
Brunson has it, gives off to Mikal Bridges. Bridges gets a screen right from Towns. Bridges drives into the mid-range, looks, gives back to Brunson. Brunson on the drive. Brunson inside, turns back. Bridges fakes. Bridges driving this time. Open space, gives back. Towns, three-pointer on the way. Shot is good. Karl Anthony Towns from downtown. I have my remote with me, so don't worry. This ball is blocked out of bounds that time by Mikal Bridges. Because I think when the Sixers got the ball out of an inbound, I was hearing the starting lineup being presented. I'm like, yeah, that's not right.
Yeah. We're a little bit behind. I'm a little bit behind.
Separated.
From you, but we'll fix that next commercial break.
Caleb Martin hands off to Lowry. Lowry from the wing. Yes. Hart has the rebound. Okay. Gives off to Towns. Towns for three this time. Yes. Karl Anthony Towns with 2 3-pointers in a row. It's 6-2 Knicks. Lowry has it, gives off to Embiid on the perimeter. Embiid looking to hand off this time. He finds Kelly Oubre along the wing. Oubre looking to hand off this time to Lowry. Knicks do not switch it. Lowry to his left. Lowry driving on Brunson with a push this time. Shot is good. Nobody helping in the gaps there. It is 6-4. Jalen Brunson will bring the ball up. Brunson has it. Towns sets a screen by the arc for Mikal Bridges. Now Towns has the handoff, looking to dish. He finds Bridges. Nice pass. Layup inside is good. Karl Anthony Towns with a nice pass. He's making his impact felt offensively. It's 8-4 Knicks. Paul George along the wing. Dishes to the outside. Caleb Martin. Nice pass to Lowry. Back out to Oubre. Back out to Embiid. Embiid on the perimeter. Deflected by Towns. Embiid with 11 to shoot. Embiid pulls up for three this time. Shot is no good. Rebounded by Josh Hart. Hart comes up the floor with Jalen Brunson. Brunson 1-on-1. Drives left, drives right. Right into the paint. Brunson layup blocked. That time by Oubre. Brunson gets tackled on the play. Lowry looking. Gives to Oubre in transition. 3-pointers up. 3-pointers no good. Rebounded by George. George takes a mid-range jumper. That is good. It looked like the two Knicks collided into each other that time. Brunson has it. Brunson 1-on-1. Screen to Anunoby. Anunoby drives, kicks out, pass deflected. Anunoby still has it. Gives back to Hart, back to Anunoby. Anunoby matched up against former teammate Lowry. Backing him down. Anunoby. Great defense by Lowry, and that is a no-good shot. Rebounded by Oubre. George brings it up, gives back to Embiid. Embiid has the size advantage versus Josh Hart. Embiid pulls up. Shot is no good. Rebounded by Josh Hart. Brunson 1-on-1. Brunson waiting in transition. Double team gives back to Towns. Towns with the up fake. Towns drives to the basket. Towns inside this time. Shot is good. Karl Anthony Towns is having a stupendous game. It is 10-6
Yeah. He's
Knicks.
been phenomenal offensively to start the year. One of the best players in the NBA, really, honestly, to begin the season.
Screen comes, fakes. George drives, kicks to the corner this time. Martin for three on the way. Shot is an air ball, rebounded by Josh Hart. Hart slows down in transition, gives to Brunson. Brunson high, arcing three. Shot's no good, rebounded by Kelly Oubre. Lowry has it this time. Gives off to Kelly Oubre. Oubre on the wing. Gives to Caleb Martin. Martin defended by OG Anunoby. Anunoby gives back. I'm sorry, that's Martin. Gives back to Oubre. Back to Martin. Embiid in the post. He's fed. Towns double team. Embiid 4 to shoot, 3 to shoot. Embiid drives. Embiid fakes inside. Does he get the shot? No, he does not. That is some great defense by Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, the Sixers are
Not
not hitting any of their
hesitating, not
threes.
falling for the not hesitating, not falling for any of the pump fakes, moving his feet consistently. Good job there. Brunson has it, gives off to Towns, back out to Josh Hart. Screen coming from Towns for Brunson. Brunson, screen to the right, nearly drops it, deflected. Brunson on the drive into the mid-range, fakes, kicks out to Anunoby. Anunoby fakes along the wing. Anunoby pull up mid-range jumper is good. OG Anunoby, who's had a solid year and a solid start to the year, gets 2 points for the Knicks. Lowry gives off to Embiid, back out to Lowry. Here comes the screen. Lowry dishes off to Embiid in the high post. Towns playing defense. Another deflection by Towns that time. Embiid looking for a man to dish. Embiid nearly deflected again. Gives back to George. George, one-on-one. George left off the screen. They're going to ice it. And Embiid loses the ball out of bounds. They do not call a foul. Sixers turnover. Knicks ball.
Knicks looking good to start this one.
Brunson has it. One-on-one. Gives off to Towns. Towns at the top. Gives to Anunoby. Anunoby backs it inside. Shots blocked that time by George, but out of bounds deflected by Martin. So it'll be Knicks ball. The Knicks trying to feed the mismatch, and you could tell that they're doing some matchup hunting, which is a priority in the Knicks offense. Joel Embiid.
They're playing good defense.
Absolutely, 100%. Rotating.
Really good
Bridges
defense. Switching well.
Bridges, one-on-one. And a pass high deflected, nearly a turnover. Hart drives into the paint. Hart looking. And that is a turnover deflected by a bad pass. Here comes George in transition. George inside. Shot's no good, but a foul. So they are going to timeout here. And Dylan, let me know when it says 6:56 when they show the scoreboard on the left side. 6:56 to play, 12-6. Just let me know.
Got you. And it will be now.
Gotcha. Now it should only be a few seconds, if anything. But yeah. Dylan, what did you see?
That's not that big deal. I saw really good defense from the Knicks that first few minutes. Really good rotations, making it tough for Embiid to get good looks. Obviously this is Embiid's first game back, so he's not gonna have his way right away. He's still got to get himself loose, but so far, really good defense. Really was pleased by that, and of course, Karl Anthony Towns, fantastic player. Player.
So I apologize for not getting this earlier, but what's up to Jacob? He says, what's good, fellas? Dylan, don't mention Sims in front of Luca. Yeah, I wasn't. We were obviously streaming the opening game against the Celtics. He was bad, but obviously hasn't came into the game yet. But obviously, the Knicks are feeding Towns. He's been their top offensive player this year. As you said, one of the top players in the NBA in terms of just offense. And I think, and one of the big developments just in terms of chemistry, I think for Brunson is finding, because he's going to get double teamed a lot when he drives to the paint. It's finding those open spaces where he's not having to take those very contested mid-range jumpers, or he's going to have to do his footwork. There's going to be open space for shooters in the corner, shooters in the wings. There was an instance where Brunson was driving there and Anunoby was open on the wings and he passed it to him. And that's going to be the thing with Towns as well. Brunson has to, and Brunson's never, let's be fair, never been a great passer by any means, but I think he's going to have to split his scoring and his passing. He's going to have to balance that out a little bit if the Knicks really want to hit their ceiling. And another thing I'd like to
Hmm.
mention as well is our buddy Jeff from from Hot Hand Theory. Well, I was actually watching his podcast earlier with XJ Hot Hand Theory. It's in the description. Check it out. If it's not in the description, but they were mentioning, a lot of people were talking about the philosophies, and people are like, oh, I want Randall back. There's certain people getting sentimental about last year's team and the year before with Randall and all that. And they're like, oh, Brunson can't be the only one creating. Yes, he can, because the Indiana Pacers have created so many threes, and they're a well-rounded offensive team. There's only one creator. That's Tyrese Halliburton. So that's a big
Right.
factor. But
Right.
obviously,
Exactly.
the Knicks are working out well offensively.
Yes, they are. Very, very much so. And I do apologize
Obviously,
because there's been a bit of lag, so.
It's okay. It's all right. Let me just let me
But
put
I
this
think
in the
hopefully
description as
it'll
well. Yeah, hopefully clear out. But guys, if you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe as well. I'm going to put everybody's links in the description. We are 24 subscribers away from 100. Let's get there. So let's get there. Appreciate everybody's support. I know I did a recap, not necessarily on the Pacers game, but the previous Hawks game, which was not a good showing for the Knicks. Knicks are trying to finally put a stop to this losing streak. And as you said, Dylan, they have a couple easy games this week, but you know what? It's obviously one game at a time, as well as I know they have some
Yep.
tournament games, but this is like their best stretch of the season in terms of opponents. So they can get
Oh,
it
yeah.
done. This is how you get into chemistry. This is how you build chemistry.
Yeah,
Is
you've got the
Joel,
Bulls and then the Nets twice, and then Washington.
exactly.
So
Yeah, and the Nets are no scrubs, man. They might
no,
they're playing very well for a team that's very young. And
yeah,
Jody Fernandez is coaching his ass off.
and Cam Thomas is playing really well too.
Yeah. So Paul George is at the free throw line, averaging 14 points per game this season, 4.8 rebounds, 5.8 assists. And his first shot from the line is good. He missed a few games due to a knee injury, and that's been the concern around this trio specifically, should I say. Embiid, Maxey, and Paul George, the injuries.
Yes, and that's one thing that I've always highlighted as a big issue for Philadelphia: their health. You have
Yes.
you have George and Embiid, who have been historically not healthy players. Great players.
Look at that alley-oop from Josh Hart to OG Anunoby, finding the space.
Great play.
The 76ers defense was pressing up, and the Knicks took advantage of the space. So it's 14-8. Martin looking for that same alley-oop, can't find it. Out to George. George at the top of the key this time, knocks down a three-pointer to answer back.
Yeah, we're about like 2 seconds behind, so it's not that big a deal.
Hart gives off to Karl Anthony Towns, defended by Andre Drummond. Back hands off to Brunson. Brunson driving to the mid-range, pulls up jumper, shots in and out, rebound by Kyle Lowry. Lowry looking for a man. He finds Kelly Oubre. Oubre along the wing. Backs up, gives off to Lowry, defended by Brunson. Now gives off to Paul George. OG gambled a bit, but still has George on his backside. Kicks inside to Drummond. Drummond fakes. Drummond inside. Shots no good. Rebounded by Towns. Here comes Brunson. And the Knicks in transition. Brunson drives right. Brunson inside. Layup off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Lowry. Here comes Lowry in transition. Lowry fakes the pull-up. Now to Martin. Martin for three this time. In and out. Rebounded by OG Anunoby. Here come the Knicks in transition. Hart leading the way. Hart gives to Towns. Towns at the top of the key. Fakes, jab step, three-pointer this time. Shots no good. Rebound Bridges. Bridges
Both teams
is
gone
fouled.
cold. Both teams have been cold out of the timeout.
Especially in transition.
Yep.
Jericho Sims and Deuce McBride will come off the bench as the first Knicks subs. OG Anunoby heads to the bench, I think. Tom Thibodeau, 531 and 394 in his career, but fifth season as Knicks coach. Obviously spent past 10 years in Chicago and Minnesota. And obviously another bench substitute, Karl Anthony Towns heads to the bench. Kelly Oubre heads to the bench for the Philadelphia 76ers. Head coach Nick Nurse, second year as Sixers coach. Looking in this time, finds Jalen Brunson. Brunson Fakes the screen. This is a ghost screen set by Jericho Sims. Brunson one-on-one. Fakes. Gives off to McBride. 7 to shoot. McBride one against Caleb Martin. Really good matchup for Martin. McBride drives the paint. Inside shot somehow goes in. That looked like a lefty floater.
Wow. What a shot by Deuce.
16-11 as they're showing Tyrese Maxey on that bench. Inside is George. Feeds to Drummond. Kicks out to the corner. Three-pointer by Yabusele. Shots no good. Rebound Brunson. I might have butchered his name. I apologize.
Yabusele.
Yabusele. Brunson feeds. Anunoby inside for the dunk. Knicks, once again, principle of what they do, they love to match upon. Find that mismatch. They found Anunoby in the paint.
It's a good pass by Brunson, too, to find OG down low.
One-on-one this time. Drives to the right. In the mid-range, dumps to Drummond. Drummond inside. Shot is good. Pick and roll defensive flaw there for the Knicks. Brunson hands off, fakes the handoff, actually driving to the rim this time. Kicks out to Anunoby. Anunoby from the wing. Misses the 3, rebound Sims. Sims back out to Brunson. Brunson looking for a dish, defended by George. Here comes a screen to the right. Brunson goes left. Brunson rejects the screen, gives back to Bridges. Bridges on the drive. Bridges inside, looking. Bridges fall away. Mid-range is cooking.
And that's what you want to see. You want to see him hit his shots because he's been, quite frankly, ice cold lately.
Drummond on the high post, defended by Sims. Drummond trying to back him down. Good strip, nearly stripped by Anunoby. Yabusele on the perimeter. Gives back to Drummond. Back out to George. Here comes the screen. George, pull up 3 on the way. Shots no good. Rebound, Yabusele. Tackle for the ball. No foul called. Here comes Bridges. Bridges behind the back dribble. Kicks inside. Back to Brunson. Corner 3. Shot is no good. Rebound, Drummond.
Ooh. That was a beautiful setup by Bridges, though. Shot didn't fall, but what a setup.
George on the drive. George fakes. Pull up. Contested mid-range jumper is good to go. Bringing it up is Jalen Brunson.
He's been the one guy that's gotten going for Philadelphia, Paul George.
Screens both to the right and the left. He uses the left screen. They look to hedge. Sims cannot handle the pass. It's stolen. Here come the Sixers. Martin races back in transition. Defended by Anunoby along the wing. Gives to Drummond. Drummond back to Paul George. Inside to Yabusele. Has the matchup. Yabusele kicks inside. Pass is stolen by Deuce McBride. Here comes Bridges. Bridges inside. Layup is no good. Put back by Sims is good.
Good sequence, too. Good transition defense and transition offense by the Knicks there.
22-15 with about 2:33 to play. George calls out the offense. Sets up the play. Sets up the set. George to his right off the screen. Pulls. Gives to Drummond. Drummond fakes. Kicks out to the wing, back out to the corner, back out to the wing. Martin fakes into Yabusele inside. Shot blocked by Sims. Taken by Drummond. And we have a shot clock violation. Knicks defense.
What a play by Sims. Wow. Right as they say that he hasn't been providing much rim protection. Look at that.
Coming over from the weak side. Timeout
What a
called.
play.
22-15. Unbelievable. Whew. And the Knicks also playing well in the gaps to at least stop the dribble and get those steals.
Yep. Like I said, good transition defense, a good transition offense. You can turn defense into offense any day of the week.
And it's like they're also getting that offensive production when Towns is on the bench. And the one thing I noticed as well, everybody's looking for McHale to be that creator with the bench, but it's been Tibbs staggering the rotations with, okay, we'll have Brunson and Towns obviously in the starting lineup, but we'll have Brunson for some, Towns for some, not so much Bridges for some. But that was I got to say, even though it was a miss by Brunson in the corner, which is a shot he usually hits, that was a beautiful setup from Bridges, as you said, with the behind-the-back dribble.
Yep. The process is there. You just got to get the shots to fall. But the process is right.
Yeah, and it's not and the thing is as well is they're not settling for a lot of ISOs. I'll give them that credit.
Yep.
They're running in transition a little bit. They're moving the ball as much as they can. So give him credit there. And as I wrote down, like I recorded some notes today on what the principles the Knicks like to do and what the modern NBA likes to do. But overall, the Knicks are just playing well. They're winning in this game. Obviously, you want to take advantage of that shorthanded Sixers team. So.
Yep. Simple as that, bro.
All right, so
Simple as
I've put the links in the description. Guys, check out Dylan, check out Hot Hand Theory, also Donald from Let's Talk Knicks and Pinstripe Chronicles. So keeping the vibes going. Good start. Obviously got to finish the quarter off well. We only got 2:34 to play. And to me, is like I said earlier, like I should say when OG scored that like mid-range bucket, I think he's been the most underratedly good player amidst these Knicks struggles, should I
Oh,
say.
he's been very good this year. Very good. I mean, he's been very efficient. He's been effective on both ends of the floor. I mean, he's everything you could ask for out of him right now. So, really have no complaints for how he's been playing so far this season.
In any faction, like he's efficient shooting wise, he's cutting to the basket, he's playing defense, he's switching. And I think as I said in the hot hand when when we were talking to Jeff for our previous show, like Karl Anthony Towns will start to benefit from OG Anunoby being so versatile defensively and getting in the gaps.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I do wonder what the bench unit's going to look like today. I wonder if we see some other guys come in instead of just McBride, Payne, and Sims.
I hope not. I mean, what I mean, I don't understand kind of when what was I going to say when Tyler Kolek was getting so many smaller minutes, in the Pacers game because like Campaign was had a decent amount of minutes when he was playing, but it's something I understand. But by the way, Matt Ryan's in the game for the Knicks, so that is a new rotation piece.
Well, there we go then. Right on cue.
Campaign has it. He is back, gives out to Matt Ryan, back out to Payne. They have Karl Anthony Towns in as well. Campaign gives off to Towns. Towns driving on Oubre. Towns inside, puts the layup in with strength. Unbelievable.
Tough take, man. Towns has been aggressive on each spot of the court offensively this year. It's aggressive from
Yabusele
three
defended by Anunoby. Yabusele with a couple of jab steps, looking to pass. He finds Embiid. Embiid is fouled by Towns. And that's been the one thing that's troubled Towns this year is the foul trouble.
Yep.
And if we're being fair, Embiid's going to get his free throws.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Missed the first 9 games this season with a knee injury and a suspension for shoving a reporter. So if we think about it, Dylan, I think he's employed. So it's Payne, Deuce, Sims, and Ryan. That's a 9-man rotation.
Yep.
That's what you could ask for, honestly.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Embiid knocks down both free throws. So bring up the floor will be Campaign, former Sixer, who played against the Knicks in the playoffs. Payne looking, gives to Anunoby. Anunoby high pass, and this is stolen by Yabusele, and take it into the Sixers' front court. Played there by Jeff Dowden, kicks out to the corner. Yabusele, high arcing three, knocks it down. Bit of a wicked pass there from Campaign, leading to the Sixers' transition bucket.
Yep. Once again, giving too much room to defenders open for three.
McBride pulls up for three, knocks it down. Deuce McBride from downtown. It's 27-20 Knicks.
Good response there by Deuce.
Down hands off to Embiid. Embiid handing off this time to Jared McCain. McCain pull up three on the wing. I should say top of the key, knocks it down. Now the bench units are taking control. Payne gives off to Towns. Towns looking for a handoff. Fakes. Pass to Deuce. Deuce to the corner. Back out to Payne. Back out to Anunoby. Back to Ryan. Ryan for three. Shots no good. Rebound Yabusele. Here comes Oubre. Oubre 1-on-1 versus Deuce. Driving left. Knicks trying to help in the gaps. They do. Oubre misses the shot. Rebounded by Deuce McBride. McBride looking. Slowing down the pace. There's about a 4-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Defended by Oubre. Towns with a screen to the right. Deuce rejects it. And a foul is finally called on Kelly Oubre. So the Sixers have used their foul to give. And coming back in will be Jalen Brunson for this short span.
That was a very quick time on the bench for Brunson.
Trying to figure out who's going to the bench. Matt Ryan's still on the floor, I think. Yeah, he is. 13.9 seconds left in the first quarter. Deuce looking to inbound. He finds OG Anunoby. Now gives to Brunson. Brunson guarded tightly by Caleb Martin. 9, down to 8, down to 7. Brunson drives right off the screen. Gives back to... Oh, that's a bad pass there. Stolen by Martin. Martin up ahead. Throws it down. Martin, should I say, saw the pass coming.
This has been a very rough first quarter for Jalen Brunson.
Deuce McBride at the buzzer. Misses. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. 27-25 Knicks. He was looking for that pick and pop, Dylan, and he did not find it.
Nope.
And that's a matter of reading the defense, and he didn't read the defense right there. So let me see what the NBA is doing around the scoreboard. Or I should say around the league, should I say. So let's see, pull it up. So we have the Boston Celtics beating up on the Atlanta Hawks 56-50 in the second quarter. Miami and Detroit tied at 47. The Orlando Magic beating up on the Charlotte Hornets 52-37 with about 3:18 in the second remaining. Some other games tonight, you have the Toronto Raptors facing off against the Milwaukee Bucks. Two win teams. I didn't think I would be saying that. More so for Milwaukee. 9 o'clock tonight, it is Phoenix and Utah. Phoenix on a really hot run despite Kevin Durant being hurt. 8-2 versus 2-7 Utah. 10 o'clock, it's the TNT second game of the stretch. I should say second game of the doubleheader. 8-2 Golden State versus 5-5 Dallas. And then also another 10 o'clock game, 3-8 Portland versus 6-4 Minnesota. Yes, Jacob, credit to them. So that's what's going on around the NBA circle. Also, you have the start of college basketball a little bit tonight. You have Michigan State versus Kansas. That's been the main ESPN game. So do you, like, when Precious Achiuwa comes back, do you think they stick with the 9-man rotation, or do you think they go 10?
They probably stick with 9, and I envision that like Sims probably just takes a back seat on the bench. He already plays very little minutes anyway, so I imagine Achiuwa just takes that spot. Maybe once in a while we'll see like some Achiuwa and Sims together, but I don't think we will that often. So,
and like to me a little bit as well. Like should I say down a little bit more so on. You know what? That would be ridiculous. It's a 3-guard line. I'm saying like when Campaign's like not out there and Brunson's not out there, when Deuce is the main ball handler, I like him better with Tyler Kolek at his side, who's more of a better distributor in my opinion.
Yeah. No, Tyler Kolek deserves some minutes. I mean, the time he's been out there, he's looked very good. He's knocked down his shots. Obviously, the defense is a concern. He's a small guy, but offensively, he gets these guys in a rhythm. He plays quick. He has good passing, obviously. So. Yeah.
Even as well, like Kolek's the shot making is going to help Deuce a lot because Kolek has been on fire essentially from the start of the season. That's obviously a very good sign for someone who was drafted just in the second round. It is considered a steal.
Yeah.
So they're looking at replays of Karl Anthony Towns, obviously cooking offensively. He's been the main focus of the game this far, and obviously TNT was just interviewing him. So we should be back in the second quarter. By the way, 136 3-pointers made last season, which was 4th among centers. So
interesting.
Obviously, big reason why the Knicks went out and got him, the 3-point spacing, the shooting, and even the passing as well has been fun to watch from Towns as a hub.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's just like he's a quarterback. He leads his, I guess you wouldn't say receivers, but I guess he leads his other teammates to just great passes to open space. But we're back into it as Deuce McBride has the ball on the wing, gets a screen from Towns to the right side. Deuce fakes, gives back to Matt Ryan. Ryan on the drive this time. Ryan kicks to the corner. Anunoby drives on Yabusele. Kicks out this time. Cameron Payne driving. Payne floaters up. Floater is no good. Rebounded. This time taken by Payne. Good job. Anunoby. Open three. Shots no good. Rebounded by Towns. Good fight. Anunoby inside for the dunk.
Good
Second
offensive
and chance
rebounding.
opportunities. Yes, Dylan. Yes.
I mean, offensive rebounding has been something that's killed the Knicks this year, so you like to see that.
Doughton gives off to Yabusele. Yabusele hands off to McCain. McCain defended by Ryan, gives back to Yabusele at the top of the key, gives back to Doughton. Doughton, three-pointer on the wing, shots no good, rebounded by Payne. Payne will bring it up. Payne getting the Knicks in their set, gives to Towns. Towns with a little ghost screen from Deuce. Towns one-on-one versus Joel Embiid. Towns driving to the rack. Towns inside, no good. Rebounded by Joel Embiid. Embiid will bring it up the floor. Embiid one-on-one. Now looking for a pass. He finds Jared McCain. McCain driving on Payne, and it's a foul reach-in, I think, on Payne that time. That's his first. And they're actually calling this on the shot, I believe.
Interesting.
Okay. I didn't think he was going up shooting, but I could be wrong. Jared McCain knocks down a product out of Duke. He is a rookie. So he will head to the line for his second free throw. Second free throw is up and good. It is 29-27 Knicks. Payne off the left, gives back to Hart. Hart looking for a handoff. He finds Matt Ryan. Ryan defended by Yabusele, gives back to Payne. Payne screened out by Towns. Payne, high arcing deep three-pointer, knocks it down in front of Joel Embiid.
That is one good thing about Cameron Payne that he provides. This man can shoot.
Good screen navigation by Deuce. Three-pointer by McCain. Shots no good. Rebound Yabusele. Yabusele gets it back. Back to Embiid. Kicks out to Yabusele. Corner three this time. Shots no good. Rebound Embiid again. Embiid puts up a wild shot. No good. And do they call a foul or do they say it hit the side of the backboard? I think they'll say it hit the side of the backboard, or at least the top. I mean, he just put up a wild shot trying to draw that foul. You shouldn't get rewarded for that shot, and he didn't. Josh Hart will bring it up. Actually, Payne, my mistake. Payne screen to the left. Payne driving into the paint. Payne inside. Layup, no good. Put back by Towns is good. (34-27).
What a putback by Towns.
Doubt nearly stripped inside. Layup is in and out. Rebounded by Karl Anthony Towns. Here comes Josh Hart. Knicks in transition. Gives to McBride. McBride against Joel Embiid. Jab step. A couple of fakes. McBride drives the basket. Inside. Shot kicks out. Ryan for three. Shot's no good. Rebound Yabusele. He's going to bring it to McCain. McCain driving on Hart. McCain kicks to the corner. Doughton for three this time. Shot's no good. Rebound Hart. Here comes the Knicks in transition. Hart fakes. Gives to Payne. Payne pull up three this time. No good. Rebound taken by Yabusele.
Philadelphia is taking some rough shots, I must say.
Down on the perimeter. Gives to Yabusele. Back to Doughton at the top of the key. Looking. They find Embiid. Embiid is fouled by Payne. That's his second. Payne was trying to go for the ball, but Embiid, of course, will try to draw his way to the free throw line. They did call it on the shot, so Embiid will go to the free throw line. Embiid knocks down the first. Embiid has not made a field goal yet. Andre Drummond is ready to check in. Free throw is good. It's 34-29. Deuce will bring it up in a quick pace. Handoff this time. McBride to the rack inside. Layup is good. Took advantage of the lackadaisical defense from the Sixers.
Nice play by Deuce. Just right at him. Just
Embiid
walking.
gives off to Oubre. Oubre off the screen. Oubre inside. Shot is somehow goes in, but they will call an and one that time. Towns not happy with the call. That's his second, and Oubre will go to the free throw line to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. But I think Oubre got away with a shove a little bit.
Yeah, hard take.
Tough finish though from Oubre.
Yeah,
got to give him credit where he's due.
lot of contact and heavily contested take.
So Embiid heads to the bench. Jalen Brunson checks back in, hopefully for a spark. But I thought Deuce was playing well personally.
Well, you got to get Brunson going at some point, though. You can't just have Brunson sit on the bench forever. He is your best player. So.
And they sit Karl Anthony Towns with the 2 fouls, so they'll bring in Jericho Sims. And I think he's been somewhat better, Brunson, with Jericho Sims screening, so we'll see if that's the case. Handoff to Sims, back out to McBride. McBride drives right at the screen. McBride fakes, turnaround, jumper. Oh, beautiful footwork there by Deuce McBride. 38-32.
Good move.
Deuce McBride with 9 points off the bench. Oubre has it.
Deuce McBride. He has been hooping this year.
Deflection stolen by Ryan. Here comes Ryan. Ryan on the drive inside. Righty layup is blocked, but a goaltend. Kelly Oubre is irate. And will the Sixers
challenge? That is a clear goaltend. That is a clear goaltend.
And the Sixers are looking to challenge.
That looked like a goaltend to me, but
I think it's going to be a block.
Let's see.
It's going to be a block.
It looked like it might have been coming down. Yeah, that might be a block, not going to lie.
So I think the Sixers
it's close, but it might be a block.
Yeah.
It's close, but it might be a block.
So it's 40-32 with 7:58 to go in the second. See, if it was kind of up to me, I kind of like I'm not gonna lie, like a 9-man rotation's good, but I also kind of like a 10-man rotation. But again, that would incentivize the Knicks playing 3 guards, and that would be concerned for an undersized lineup. But in that case, like in that kind of sense, it would kind of be like cool, like, and this would be like reverse if Deuce was starting instead of Josh Hart starting and Josh Hart on the bench, where you could have Josh Hart play the 3, you could have Kolek and Payne play off each other.
I think, though, that part of why they don't run a 10-man is because like they don't have other floor spacing bigs. So your backup centers are just going to be clogging the paint. So your idea is to have one of them, have one of the starters out there on the floor with those guys because all your starters can shoot. So you're not clogging up the spacing too much. So I feel like that's why they don't run a 10-man. But
yeah. But a 9-man's good enough because as long as you're sitting Brunson for an appropriate time and you're giving some rest to these guys without playing like 38 minutes a game, like give the bench
should be the one that leads the second unit.
I completely agree.
It'll help maximize him a little bit because he kind of sometimes looks lost out there. With the
so, and like the thing is as well is some people are actually debating this like. Is OG Anunoby a better third option, or is that Mikal Bridges?
No. Bridges is still the better third option. It's just OG's good off the ball. You know, he shoots the three ball well off the ball. He's really efficient in the corners. He's a good cutter, all that stuff. But Bridges is an actual ball handler. OG's
Yeah.
not a ball handler. So you want to have Bridges be that third option because Bridges can create his own shot. Yeah, OG can create a little bit, but that's not his game. So
Yeah. And you don't want to overutilize somebody. I think that'll be like,
exactly.
Prognostication or main issue. You don't want to overuse somebody. Again, I think Tibbs is still trying to figure out how to use Mikal Bridges, but it's not like, to be fair, Mikal Bridges has played well enough offensively either where he's like, okay, I'm going to stunt you and Jalen Brunson or you and Karl Anthony Towns to be that second creator.
Exactly.
In my opinion, it still looks like a block to me.
It's probably going to be a block.
Yeah, they're actually at center court, so they overturned the call, and the Sixers will have it as Jeff Doughton will bring it up the floor.
In real time, I thought it was a goaltend, but seeing the replay, it's not. It's a block.
McCain drives left off the screen, gives to Drummond. Drummond inside, looking for a pass, kicks out to Martin. Martin with a couple of fakes. One-on-one versus Ryan. Martin spins inside. Wait, that's a terrible shot, and somehow that's called a foul. I thought Ryan was playing good defense there.
There was some contact. Marginal, but there was contact.
So Martin will go to the free throw line for 2. Martin, 10 points, 10.3 points per game and 37% from the field. And 65% from the line. First shot is up, and it's good from the line. OG Anunoby checks in. Checks out. I don't think Matt was bad defensively. Thought he was all right.
No, he held his own.
Martin,
you obviously have him out there for shooting, though. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So both free throws are good. Knicks are up by 4, 38-34. Karl Anthony Towns waiting to check in. Brunson has it. Mikal Bridges also back in. Brunson one-on-one, going to get a screen from Sims to the right. Brunson rejects the screen, double team, kicks out to the corner. Bridges back out to Brunson. Brunson fakes, 6 to shoot. Brunson drives into the paint. Brunson is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. I thought Brunson could have pulled that three-pointer when he had like that split second on the wing. He was open.
Yeah, he definitely could have, but, we'll take the foul.
Bevy of contact there. Nick Nurse. Brunson 0 for 5, also has 4 assists. Free throw, first one is good. So Brunson gets on the scoreboard as the Knicks starting 5 comes back in. Brunson had a career season last year, 28.7 points per game, 6.7 assists per game, 19.5 drives per game in the NBA, which was 3rd. As Brunson nails both free throws, they're up by 6. Jeff Doughton will bring it up. Doughton hands off to Jared McCain, fakes the handoff this time, goes left off the screen from Drummond. Knicks are looking ice, gets him away from the paint. McCain misses the reverse layup. Putback is no good somehow, but a foul. Knicks not boxing out. Kelly Oubre back to the free throw line. First free throw is good with the bounce. It's 40-35. And Taj Gibson, by the way, Dylan laid a nasty dunk on Franz Wagner in the Hornets game.
Oh, my gosh. Knicks legend, Taj Gibson.
Yes. And Tibbs is all-time favorite.
Maybe we should bring him back for the bench.
Yes. Brunson will bring it up. Both free throws were made. Brunson goes left off the screen. Brunson one-on-one. Hands to Towns this time. Towns driving to the rack. Towns inside. Shots blocked. and they don't call a goaltend that time. That probably was more of a case for it. Martin on the wing gives back to McCain for 3. Shots no good. Tipped out by Drummond. Taken by Anunoby. In transition, gives to Bridges. Bridges up ahead. Bridges to Hart. Hart loses that pass out of bounds. It's Sixers basketball.
That's
a
not a
that's a goaltend. That's a goaltend. They missed that one.
Can they reverse that the next time out?
I'd hope so. I mean, that really hit the glass and he smacked it. That's not like it was in just before the glass. That hit the glass and he smacked it. That's a goaltend, textbook definition. Anyways, Caleb Martin will bring it up. Fake screen there, gives back to Jared McCain. McCain hands off to Kelly Oubre. Series of handoffs. Oubre misses the 3, tipped out, rebounded by Drummond. Drummond inside this time, makes the layup to go. Brunson has it, gives off to Towns. Towns looking for a handoff, finds Josh Hart. Hart into the paint, into Towns. Nice job. Towns is shots out of bounds, but it's Knicks ball. Looked like he was hammered on that play. Paul George checks back in.
Did Kyle Lowry just block Cat on that layup?
I'm not sure. Brunson with 11 to shoot. Brunson one-on-one. Here comes a screen from Cat to the left side. Brunson rejects it. Brunson fakes. Pass to Hart. Pass is deflected and stolen by George. George, nice steal there by Bridges. Intercepted, should I say, if you use a football term. Bridges. Hands Towns back to Bridges.
This has been a rough first half for Brunson.
Back out to Brunson. Back to Hart. Hart fakes. Hart drives on George and a blocking foul on Paul George. Sixers are playing good enough defense where Brunson is forced into making bad passes, and Brunson, he doesn't look like he has a plan out there. If we're being real,
no.
Jared McCain had a career high on Sunday versus the Hornets, 27 points, 10 of 18 from the floor. Towns looking for a handoff this time. Nice pass to Brunson, deflected in the air, stolen by Martin. Knicks getting a little careless with the turnovers. Here comes Martin. Martin up ahead, defended by Brunson. Martin retreats, gives to George. George defended by Mikal Bridges. George fakes. Step back, midi. No good. Rebounded by Josh Hart. Hart up ahead. Looking. Hart to the rack. Inside. Shot is good. And the foul.
I'm about to see it myself. There's that coast to coast. That's that Josh Hart coast to coast that you love seeing.
Streamlined right through the defense.
Josh Hart is especially dangerous in transition.
Josh Hart will head to the free throw line to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. That's his first 2 points tonight. He also has 2 assists and 4 rebounds. Shot is good from Hart. 43-38. Kyle Lowry will bring it up. George comes off the screen that time. George with a screen to the right. George on the drive. George inside kicks to the corner. Oubre kicks up to the wing. That is Lowry. 12 to shoot. Lowry gives to George. Double screen that time. George with a dribble back fake. George high arcing 3. Banks it off the glass. It is good.
Boy, well defended by OG too.
Brunson into the paint, fakes, gives back to Hart. Hart, high arcing 3, shot is no good, rebounded by Drummond. Here comes Caleb Martin. Martin inside, offensive foul. Jalen Brunson draws the charge. And I guess they're going to say the elbow drove right into Brunson. And it looks like I think the Sixers are going to challenge that too.
Interesting that they're challenging that.
I'll say this. I think Brunson was still moving, but I also think Caleb Williams. Caleb Martin's dribble was a bit out of control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sixers challenging this, but I also say if you guys haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe as well. 24 subscribers away from 100. Let's get there, folks. More Knicks content on the way. The Knicks will be playing tomorrow against the Chicago Bulls. I'll have a recap out as well. Then for the rest of the week, they play on Friday against the Brooklyn Nets. They also play, let me try to find the schedule. I believe they also play on Sunday as well. They play on Sunday against the Brooklyn Nets as well, 2-gamer. And that's, as Dylan's mentioned, part of the easy stretch. They also have the Washington Wizards next Monday. So, again, a couple of easy games the Knicks can choke themselves into, or at least chalk themselves into, and get right games. Build some chemistry. That's the teams you're supposed to beat.
Yep.
And I think after that, they start a mini road trip to the West. They got the Suns who are playing their asses off, and then got the Utah Jazz.
Suns won't have Kevin Durant, though.
That's true.
You know, that's another one you can take.
And also, the Knicks are playing the Nuggets. So
that's going to be a good one.
And the Mavericks.
Yep, another good one. Got some good games coming up. So it's a unforgiving schedule.
No, especially this month. Yeah,
very unforgiving schedule so far this year.
And amidst all the Knicks struggles, they're actually still 9th in net rating, which is like something's got to give at that point.
They're 9th in net rating, but the problem is mainly that they're 2nd in offensive rating and 23rd in defensive rating.
Yeah, that's a big discrepancy.
That's a huge discrepancy. They're high-powered offense, but a very lackluster defense. And you're not going to win a lot of games if both sides of the ball are not effective.
Yeah, you got to play a complementary basketball. And my boy, I should say my guy, Noah from the Knicks Realist, runs a great channel over, obviously, on YouTube, Knicks Realist. He says Brunson got off to a worse start last season, by the way. So I guess he's providing the silver line that something's got to give. And I think it will.
I think the main issue has been the turnovers. The turnovers are alarming. But we also got to understand that Brunson is adapting to becoming more of a facilitator.
Yes.
So
the Sixers lost the challenge. Brunson and Nick Nurse will have a little bit of fun. Josh Hart with a handoff gives back to Brunson on the perimeter. Towns trying to come across the screen. He gives a screen to Brunson. Goes screen that time. Brunson, they hedge. Hart kicks out to Anunoby. Anunoby 3. Yes! Just rattles in. OG has been so effective from 3 this year.
He has been very, very efficient this year. OG Anunoby has been very good, and I feel like it's not getting talked about enough.
George across double screens. George in a little bit of trouble against Anunoby. 7 to shoot. George driving to the rack. George inside. Shot altered that time. No good. Here comes Hart in transition. Here come the Knicks. Hart pulls it back. Nice pass to Anunoby. Drops it. And Anunoby's tackled underneath. Bridges pulls up.
Defense by the Knicks on that drive right there by George. And what a pass from Hart. Well, Bridges nailed down the easy one. We'll take it.
Lowry off the screen to the right. Lowry pulls it back. Pull up 3-pointer on the way. Air ball rebounded by Josh Hart off the deflection. Hart looking. Slows it down. Finds Brunson. Brunson driving baseline inside. Lefty layup is good. Knicks up by 9.
The Sixers' shot selection this game has been hilarious, to say the least.
50-41, Lowry has it. Here comes Drummond, has the ball at the top of the key. Oubre drives left on Bridges. Oubre fakes. Oubre, tough block by Bridges that time. Great defense. Here comes Bridges, gives to Hart. Hart looks, dribbles, And what do they call here? I think they call it travel on Josh Hart. And for some reason, we got Sixers fans dancing to the turnover, which I've never seen before. Joel Embiid will check in, or at least, yeah, he'll check in. 50-41, about 2:44 to play. Kyle Lowry will bring the ball up. Lowry looking, gives to Caleb Martin. Martin gives to Paul George. George at the high post, defended by Bridges. Bridges defending against the pass as well. Lowry fakes inside to Embiid, and Embiid is fouled. Towns, that is his third foul. He's not happy. Looks like Towns was trying to reach for the ball.
That is 3 fouls on Towns.
Like, there's a part of me that says Towns stop fouling him, but there's a part of me that also says, Embiid's tough to guard because he's going to try to get to the free throw line as much as possible.
Yep.
That's like I have two mindsets there. Embiid knocks down the free throw. Like, Towns literally should go up to ask the ref and say, "Ref, how do I guard him? How do I guard him? How do I play the ball and him at the same time without contact?" Meanwhile, it's if we reverse roles, it wouldn't be happening. That's just my unbiased point of view. So 2-7 this season without Joel Embiid. They were 16-27 last year with Joel Embiid, and he knocks down both free throws. Hart looking, he gives it to Deuce McBride, who's checked into the game. Jalen Brunson will bring it up. Brunson hands off to Deuce McBride. McBride looking. Sims sets a screen. They look to hedge. They don't. Hart kicks. Bridges corner three. Air ball. And it's deflected out of bounds by Caleb Martin. A UFO, is what Clyde Frazier would say.
Yikes.
Brunson looking at inbound. Looking. Finds McBride off the screen. Pull up three. Shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Paul George. George defended by Mikal Bridges. Driving to the rack. George inside is fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line for two. I'm sorry, that's Embiid going back to the free throw line. I don't even know where he was fouled.
Me neither.
Shot is up and good. Embiid has not made a field goal, folks, but he's been scoring from the free throw line. Embiid knocks down another free throw. It's 50-45. Brunson will bring the ball up. Sims with a high screen. Brunson one-on-one. Brunson drives left, kicks back to Hart. Hart looking for handoff. He finds Deuce McBride back out to Brunson. Sims comes with the screen to the right. They hedge. Brunson, pull up three. Shots no good. Rebounded by Kyle Lowry. George brings it up, comes with the screen to the right. That should look like a moving screen. That's a three-pointer, but that should be a moving screen. Hart hands off, fakes the handoff, looking for a pass. Great defense by Lowry. Brunson to his right. Brunson drives, kicks to Bridges, 8 to shoot. Great defense by George. Bridges looking for a man. Finds Hart. Hart on the drive this time. Hart fakes. Hart pull up mid-range. Got it. Josh Hart with a much-needed bucket for the Knicks there. Embiid
needed that one.
Hands off to McCain. McCain pull up mid-range jumper, gets it to go. Seven points for Jared McCain off the bench. Knicks really slowing it down here. Brunson defended by Caleb Martin. Fakes the handoff to McBride. McBride left off the screen. McBride drives the paint. Pull up mid-range jumper this time. Shots no good. Tipped up and taken by Josh Hart. and it's given to Mikal Bridges in the corner. Back out to Hart, 10 to shoot, 9 to shoot. Brunson has it, drives down the lane. Brunson inside, kicks out to the corner. Nice pass, fakes. Deuce McBride, corner three, in and out. Rebound, Josh Hart, tipped up in the air, and it's taken. And George looked like he stepped out of bounds, but he did not. Here comes McCain. McCain inside. It is no good. Rebound, Bridges, 9 to shoot. Here comes Brunson. Brunson going to his right. Brunson on the drive is not fouled, and the ball is out of bounds there.
What a hectic first half.
Hectic ending, should I say. 2.4 left to go here in the second quarter.
What a hectic ending to this half.
Kelly Oubre coming in off the bench real quick for defense. Jaron McCain comes out. Knicks trying to look to get a final shot. Brunson looking in, gives to Hart. Hart fakes. Hart at the buzzer. Yes! Josh Hart. Are they going to count it as a 2 or a 3? Knocks down the long 2. And at the half, the Knicks lead 54-50.
What a shot. Clutch shot making by Hart right there to end the half.
And Josh Hart used to play in this arena. Think about that. Oof, that last possession, especially with the transition. Oof. I mean, you have McCain driving to the basket off. I think it was a steal or a block or something like that. It was off a misread. It was off the Paul George tip in off the should say the rebound. You have McCain driving. You could argue that Sims should have put up a better contest to at least try to block the shot, but it was altered. And then you have Bridges racing up the floor. Oof, that was interesting. And listen, the Knicks, I think they're playing decent. Could they be playing better? Absolutely. I think some of the turnovers at the end of the first quarter kind of harmed them a little bit, but they're up 4. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, you're up 4, and, the defense kind of slipped a little bit in the second quarter, but, at the end of the day, I mean, you played good pace, you played good offense, and, I mean, look at the box score. Both quarters, you outscored them 27-25. So, just keep playing your game and keep chipping away. Don't hit that wall offensively, and if you do hit a wall offensively, play good defense in return. That's really all you can ask for.
So looking at the box score real quick, the leading scorer for the Knicks is Karl-Anthony Towns with 12 points. He's a +1 on the court. And OG Anunoby has 11 points. He is 5 of 9 with 1 of 3 from downtown. Towns has not he actually has hit 2 3-pointers. He's also 5 of 9 from the field. Mikal Bridges, 6 points. Jalen Brunson, 4, and Josh Hart, 7. Both Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, I should say, and even Mikal Bridges, the remaining Nova boys, are all +5 on the court. As for the bench, Matt Ryan, a -3 on the court, 0 points. Jericho Sims, 2 points off of a putback dunk, 2 rebounds as well. He's a +3. Deuce McBride, a -2 on the court with 9 points. And Cameron Payne with 3 points. But as for the Sixers, Paul George is pretty much the leading scorer, 17 points, 3 of 4 from 3, 6 of 9 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, a block, a turnover, and 2 personal fouls. He's a -9 from the court. And Joel Embiid, 8 points, all on free throws. Caleb Martin with 4, Kyle Lowry with 2 points, and Kelly Oubre Jr. with 5. Jared McCain has been the main scorer off the bench, 1 of 3 from the three-point land, 2 of 6 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He is a +12 on the court. Now breaking into the team stats as well, the Knicks are shooting 46% from the field and 35, and the Sixers are shooting 35.9% from the field. Both teams shooting miserably from 3. Knicks shooting 26.3 from three-point lands. For the Sixers, 27.8. Both teams have made all of their free throws. The Sixers getting there 17 times, the Knicks only 3. But the Knicks have also out-rebounded. Yeah, that's a rare stat. That's a very rare stat. Knicks out-rebounding the Sixers by 4. 7 offensive rebounds to the Sixers 6. Defensive rebounds 18 to the Sixers 15. The Knicks have 7 more assists, 15-8. The Sixers have more steals and blocks, 6-3 and 5-3 respectively. And total turnovers, 8 for the Knicks, 7 for the Sixers. Points conceded off turnovers, Knicks 11-9 for the Sixers. Fast break points 7-4 in favor of the Sixers. And points in the paint, the Knicks are actually leading the way 28-14. Knicks have more fouls, 9-6. And the Knicks have also had the largest lead by 9. So that is pretty much your stat update at this hour. But also, I'm going to pull up the scores as well. You have Atlanta losing to Boston 83-77. 2:32 left to go in the third quarter. Detroit Pistons are beating up on the Miami Heat 67-66 with 6:58 to go in the third quarter. The Charlotte Hornets are down 64-78 in the third quarter, 2:49 to go to the Orlando Magic. The Milwaukee Bucks are beating up on the Toronto Raptors 28-23. And obviously, I mentioned the remaining games: Phoenix, Utah, Dallas, Golden State, and Minnesota, Portland. No other teams remain today, but it's also noting that Cleveland is still undefeated. They will play tomorrow.
How about the Cavs to start the year? 12-0.
Listen, Kenny Atkinson is, I don't know why, and like this is a part of him because I think there's like one job position open that he didn't take at the last minute. But he's a really good coach, man. Like especially for offense, like
No, yeah,
you
definitely.
saw some stagnation with JB Bickerstaff's offense last year. Like he's kind of what they needed. He's getting more offensively out of Evan Mobley. He's getting more offensively. Darius Garland's having a career year. Donovan Mitchell obviously doing his thing. And they also have some really nice contributors off the bench. You have Karis LeVert. Ty Jerome is doing his thing. Dean Wade's a contributor. So they're like the lead. Obviously, they're the leading contender in the NBA in terms of just best record and overall, but they're playing some awesome complementary basketball.
Definitely. And those guys have been together for a while, Cleveland. So
Yeah,
you expect them to have some good chemistry.
yeah, they've been together for a few years. They're finally molding together again. 12-0. They're first, I think defensively, and also not first offensively and seventh defensively. Highest net rating in all of the NBA, 11.9. So there's not a huge discrepancy, but they're doing their thing. And another
No,
thing,
yeah,
Golden
definitely.
State with the loss of Klay Thompson's playing. Curry's still cooking. He's on fire, and they got a
Buddy
lot of young
Hield's been a savior for them.
Yeah, he fits right into their system in terms of just overall shooting and
We really
movement.
surprised though. Buddy Hield's one of the better 3-point shooters this league has seen. So
Oh, absolutely. There's no
not
surprise there.
surprising.
And obviously, they have their set of role players. You have Kyle Anderson doing his thing. But Golden
Draymond
State,
Green.
younger, and Draymond Green, yes, he's still doing his thing. He's providing what he provides. But they haven't lost a step. They have not lost a step. Maybe they're just hot for now, but they have not lost a step. But I guess I'm not going to say it's a complete surprise, but the one major downfall, I should say, the one team that's really disappointed is the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh yeah, they've been a major disappointment. Was not expecting them to be this bad to start the year.
And it's been a major combo of like a lot of things. Their roster is old. They don't have a good coach. Giannis said, I think at the beginning of the year, if like they don't win this year, I don't remember specifically what he said verbatim. But he's like, if they don't win, just like take me somewhere where I can win Larry O'Brien again. Again, I don't remember what he said in full quotes, but that's kind of the basis of what he said, and that is worrying.
Yeah, I mean that Bucks team is a mess right now. They need to let go of Doc Rivers. That's where I think things really start.
And it's like, and everybody questions the decision, whether was it right to fire Mike Budenholzer because he's doing his thing in Phoenix? Was it right to fire Adrian Griffin? And a good buddy of mine is a Bucks fan, and he's like, Giannis wanted Adrian Griffin to be the coach when the front office wanted Nick Nurse to be the coach when it came to that coaching cycle last season when Griffin was hired, and Griffin wasn't a great, should I say, orchestrator of plays. He also implemented his own defense, which is what the Bucks didn't agree with. He also lost players in the locker room. But the Doc Rivers thing always gets me because you always could have hired Kenny Atkinson, and I think he would have done a lot better. I think he's more of the X's and O's coach. Doc is just a name. He's just a legacy name. He doesn't even have a legacy.
Nope.
His legacy is Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and the Boston Four, and also choking leads to the Denver Nuggets, the Corey Brewer and Josh Smith not 76, excuse me, Houston Rockets with Daryl Morey, coincidentally, obviously the president of basketball operations for the Philadelphia 76ers, but his legacy is choking leads. Even he choked a lead earlier in his career with Tracy McGrady in the Orlando Magic, up 3-1. So he'll never learn. And he always makes excuses. That's one thing of Doc. He always makes excuses.
Yep. That's what he does.
And it's another thing as well is what was I going to say? Somebody made this comparison like 2 years ago. He's the NBA's version of Mike McCarthy, and I would happen to agree.
Might be pretty accurate, to be honest.
So we're just waiting to get back to half.
You could also argue he's the NBA's Sean Payton. So,
Yeah, I would say so. But I think
if you think about it, I mean, they both have one championship, and they both had playoff teams that always fell short.
That's true.
So you could argue that too. There is an argument for it. Because I mean, obviously Sean Payton has a much better resume, but
oh yeah, of course.
But in terms of the modern day,
yeah,
in terms of since like the early 2000s or late 2000s, I should say, then I think it's pretty comparable.
And also as well as Doc Rivers has like one of the worst elimination game records I think all time.
Yeah, they go out sad in elimination games.
So Jeff asked on Twitter, he said, serious question, because if you look at the minutes so far for the Knicks, Bridges and Anunoby 18, Brunson 18, Towns 17, Josh Hart 17. You also have Deuce McBride taking up 12 minutes, Campaign 6, Sims and Matt Ryan 7. So he says, serious question, where can I sign for these minute distributions for the rest of the season? Maybe 2 more minutes for Deuce? Don't close with Sims Hart together or let them play together ever. If we can get halves like these in close games, we're so freaking back.
Well, I mean, maybe one of those guys does need extra minutes, and I think Deuce does need some extra minutes just because, one, you need Brunson to rest because he's clearly laboring out there at times, but two, Deuce has been playing well. You got to play him more often. He's playing well. I mean, you always want to play the guys that are playing the best, and I think really if you gave him a handful of extra minutes, what's there to lose? I even saw someone on Twitter was saying like, "Oh, why are people making a big fuss about the 6-man rotation or whatever when everyone's hurt?" And the reason is because a rotation that thin is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And when you're this early in the season, you'll look back on it and say, "Oh, why didn't we play Kolek 5 extra minutes? Why didn't we play Hukporti an extra 5-10 minutes? Why didn't we do that?" Because then if someone gets hurt, then what? Who's coming in after that? I mean, the bench is already hurt, and look what's happening. We haven't even been playing the rookies for whatever reason.
Exactly.
So who's going to come in? Who are you going to expect to come in if one of these starters gets hurt and then just deliver positive results right away? Obviously, you have guys coming back, but right now, you're thin. So there's really no justifying playing such a thin rotation. There isn't. It's early in the season, and you're struggling. Change it up a little bit. Let me see something else. Change it up a little bit. If there's a time to experiment with that, it would be right now when it's early in the season.
Oh, hell yeah.
So,
hell yeah. And another thing, like, I think there's also another Hot Hand Theory episode where I think this is when Tibbs came back, and he was, well, I should say came back. He was extended, and Jeff was like going over certain flaws of his. It's like he talked about last season in a way where, okay, you had all these players get injured, but they played such a short rotation. Like Tibbs didn't bother. He's like, okay, I'm sticking to my guys rather than expanding and say, hey guys, this is your opportunity to really carve out a role for the future. You play now. And it's just like better for the health of the team instead of like, let's just say player A and player B get hurt out of the 9-man rotation. You're down to 7 essentially. Like open up to 9-man once again. And I think the Knicks have the plays for it. These guys aren't scrubs.
Yeah. They have the personnel. They have good players. I mean, yeah, it's tough playing rookies when you're supposed to be a championship team, but like, something's got to give. You got to maintain the durability of your main guys. So, you know,
So somebody said Knicks Nation, who's a also another good YouTube channel, they can review, and this was about the other goaltending call. They can review and take away OG's Ananobi's 3-pointer during a timeout, which I think was Sunday, I believe. So why
yeah, that
not
ended up
do?
being costly.
Yeah, so why not do the same for goaltending calls with the Carl Anthony Towns one? What was the Towns one? Was it? Yeah, it was because he obviously hit the glass before Andre Drummond smacked it, which is a textbook goaltend.
And that's exactly what I was asking before.
Like it's not hard to go to quick replay for that. Like it's a good point. If you take away threes and you could take away from the scoring a little bit, why not add to the scoring and say, hey, you know what? Let's go back to this play that might or might have not been a goaltend.
Yep.
You should be getting back to action soon enough. But again, Knicks up by 4 at the half. Again, as Dylan said, we outscored them 27-25 in both halves. What do you think is like, and also ask this is about our part of our, I guess you could say halftime takeaways. What do you think is one thing the Knicks could do better on both sides of the ball?
One thing they can definitely do better is transition on both sides of the ball. Both of them. I mean, transition offense and transition defense. It's been improved today, but I think that's the biggest thing because you see a lot of forced entry passes. You see a lot of, players trapping themselves in double teams and end up turning it over. And of course, the transition defense has been a glaring flaw all season for a multitude of reasons. So that's really what I can say. Both of them, both ends of the floor, transition.
I gotta say, towards the end of the half, it looks like the Knicks were getting a little tired out. That's weird looking at Tibbs wearing a set of headphones. But regardless, not to the point. Kind of looked like the Knicks were getting out rebounded a little bit. Like they started the first and second quarter like really good, gaining those second chance opportunities. But more so, like when the Sixers were missing their shots, they were grabbing rebounds towards the end of the half. So I think that maybe the Knicks, well rested, they'll capitalize. As you said, that's been a big issue for them this season. As we're back to action, Jalen Brunson falls down, is now hurt. Caleb Martin throws down a dunk. Brunson is holding his legs at the moment,
Ooh.
and a timeout is immediately called. I didn't know how bad the injury was. Tibbs is yelling at the referees. Brunson, all I know, was holding his knee, and now he's standing up a little bit.
Looked like he was holding his ankle.
Yep, he is limping off.
He might have twisted it.
That was quick.
Uh-oh. Well, you just hope that it's nothing too serious and that he can come back in at some point because that would be major if you miss him for a while.
So now you'll likely have Deuce and then the rest of the starting unit. He's headed right for the locker room, per reporters.
Well, the hope is that it's just a little tweak and then he can come back.
Everybody hold their breath. They're showing an ad for Gladiator 2. Whew. Please don't be severe. Please don't be severe. Please don't be severe. What if it's that ankle that's been bothering him that entire time this season? What if it's like that
Could
kind
be.
of thing?
It was just weird. He just like suddenly went down.
Now I got to ask you this as well, because me and I should say my old co-host Donald, when we do the Knicks streams and we did some of the Yankee streams together, we're talking about the NBA in-season tournament. What are your actual thoughts on the tournament overall?
I don't think it means much. I mean, it's
No.
just like it's purely entertainment value, which I get what the NBA is trying to do, and last year it was entertaining, but what's the real purpose? Like, it doesn't really mean much. So I don't know. It's to me, it's just whatever. I mean, I'm watching this as if it's another regular season game. So
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. Like the tournament, I guess is trying to incentivize players, get players more money, get them to play more, and try to offset the load management aspect. And they've already done that a little bit with the rules in terms of all NBA teams and whatnot. How you gotta play this amount of games to earn an All NBA award or at least nomination for a certain aspect of the award. So we'll see here. Yeah, Brunson kind of he took an yep, that's his right ankle. Yep, that's an
oh, he
ankle.
stepped on it.
He stepped on it, and it went the right way. Now Brunson obviously walk into the locker room, but I'll add my thoughts on the in-season tournament after when we go to commercial. Mikal Bridges looking to dish this time, finds OG Anunoby. Anunoby left to the screen.
Wow.
Anunoby drives. Anunoby one-on-one, drives to the paint. Anunoby fakes, gives back to Towns. Towns retreats, fakes, gives back McBride. Three-pointer on the way. It's up. It is in and out. Rebounded by Paul George. Paul George getting the offense in their set. George hands off to Caleb Martin. Martin one-on-one, gives and stripped by Josh Hart. Nearly fouled, and now they call a foul on Josh Hart. Hart a little over-aggressive there.
Well, the fact that Brunson was able to walk back to the locker room is a good sign. So
Yes.
let's just hope that they can just wrap that up and get him back on the bench and hopefully back in this game at some point.
Martin gives off to Oubre. Oubre, defended by Bridges, gets a screen this time. Oubre on the perimeter, driving on Bridges, kicks to the wing. Martin on the drive. Martin inside, shot is good, right on Bridges. 54-54. Bridges has the ball, gives off to Towns. Towns screened off. Three-pointers up. Three-pointers no good. Rebounded by Paul George. Here comes Caleb Martin.
This is the time of the game where you're going to need Towns to really take over because you don't have Brunson out there right now.
Embiid, turnaround jumper this time. No good. Rebound Josh Hart. Hart in transition. Inside Anunoby, reverse dunk for OG. Flying in transition that time.
Good pass. Good pass to set up the dunk.
Martin along the perimeter, looking for a pass. Kicks out to the corner. George for three. Yes, Paul George from downtown. The Sixers retake the lead. McBride calling out the set. Bridges, mid-range jumper, knocks it down. Mikal Bridges gets the Knicks back in the lead quickly.
Nice shot there. Good pull-up. That's the Sixers' first lead since the beginning of the game, by the way.
Martin gives to Embiid. Embiid, three-pointers up. Three-pointers no good. Rebound OG Anunoby. Here comes Josh Hart. Hart off to the right. Looks, finds Towns. Nearly lost it. Towns one-on-one versus Paul George. Towns driving to the rack. Towns fakes. Towns off the glass, no good. Towns trying to keep it alive. George tosses it up, and it's stolen by Josh Hart. Hart, Anunoby, three-pointers up, three-pointers good. OG Anunoby from downtown.
Nice. Good catch and shooter.
Lowry to Embiid. That's Lowry. Gives back to Embiid. Pick and pop Embiid for three. Yes. And the Knicks getting burned in drop coverage there.
Towns with the late contest.
McBride off the screen gives to Hart. Hart to Anunoby. Anunoby fakes. Anunoby trying to dribble back, and a foul is called on Kelly Oubre. Towns looking for a handoff. Towns right to the basket. Towns is fouled by Embiid. Embiid is stunned at the call. Meanwhile, that's what Embiid does half the time. So 61, 68, 41 to play. Towns looking for a handoff, finds Mikal Bridges. Bridges kicks to McBride, and pass is deflected out of bounds. It is still Knicks ball, 8 to shoot. McBride looking. Finds Towns. Fakes the handoff to McBride. Nice pass, deflected, and stolen this time by Oubre. Oubre to the rack. Inside shot is no good. Good to contest, and whose ball is it? They're going to say still haven't decided. And it'll be
Was not a fan of that pass by Towns. That was
trying to beat
Towns pass into traffic, trying to get cute.
So it's going to be Sixers ball. Lowry looking, hands to George. George for three. Shots no good. Rebound OG Anunoby. Here comes Mikal Bridges. Bridges to Hart. Hart looking. Kind of trapped, and he was traveling. And Hart is basically saying he was held to...
Yeah, he was held.
Yeah, he was held toward the baseline.
He was held. Wow. That is a stunning call.
Tibbs still yelling at Pat Frayer, the referee. Embiid one-on-one.
I guess he wasn't.
Embiid fakes, kicks back to Lowry. Lowry nearly lost it. Gives to Embiid on the high post. Embiid off the nail. Gives to Oubre, back to Martin. Martin drives on McBride. Kicks to the corner. Lowry, this time from the corner, three-pointer, is in and out. Rebound Josh Hart. Hart driving to the basket. Kicks to Towns. Towns on the drive. Towns inside. Layup is no good. Blocking foul. So he'll go to the line for two.
Jalen Brunson is back on the bench.
Good to know.
Looks like he's going to be okay.
Looks like
so that's a good sign.
Yeah. Looks like I think they're going to call this one on Kelly Oubre. He kind of was standing in the way of Towns when he was trying to go up for the layup. Karl Towns Sr. at the game. Karl Anthony Towns, 87.5% from the free throw line. Knocks down the first.
So it looks like Jalen Brunson's okay, so that's a good sign. Now we can focus on the game at hand.
Yes. Jared McCain comes in for the Philadelphia 76ers.
According to Fred Katz, he is available to return, so he's good.
Just the thing is as well, like, good that he's okay to return. Just those ankles are a bit tricky.
Yeah, they're scary, but looks like he's okay. Looks like it was just a little tweak.
Both free throws were made by Karl Anthony Towns. Kyle Lowry has it defended. Now kicks to Caleb Martin on the wing. Martin looking to pass. He finds Paul George defended by OG Anunoby. 9 to shoot. George looking to pass this time, and a foul is called away from the ball. It looks like somebody was trying to navigate a screen. I think it was on Deuce McBride that time.
I feel like Brunson rolls his ankle a lot.
That's true. Martin baseline trying to back down Bridges. And gets up. Back out to Embiid. Embiid kicks. McCain misses the three. Rebounded by Karl Anthony Towns. Deuce McBride slows it down, gives to Anunoby. Anunoby kicks to Hart. Hart on the drive. Hart inside. Layup is good, using the right hand.
Good take. Nice, strong take from Hart. You like to see him be
stolen
aggressive.
Pass by Bridges. Beautiful job defensively. Kicks to McBride. McBride fakes. Step back three on the way. Yes. Deuce McBride. Defense turning into offense for the Knicks. They're up 8.
The sidestep three from Deuce. Okay. Look at the Knicks cooking without Brunson on the floor.
That's what you need. great defense from Mikal Bridges and just great awareness. They know they're going to pass it to Joel Embiid with Towns on him, especially on the mid-range high near the high post, and Bridges read that pass and took it. Good job by Mikal. That's the locked in defensively Mikal Bridges we need to see.
Absolutely.
By the way, as well, just for note, Caleb Martin also Brunson stepped on Caleb Martin's ankle before.
Yeah.
It was actually in when they were playing Miami. I think it was in the playoffs.
Interesting. Interesting. The storylines are coming back up now.
Yes, the Heat culture. Apparently, there was Deuce Chance in Philly, by the way.
The New York fans always show up, man.
I mean, it just brings me back to when we were out at Citizens Bank Park in July, and the Yankees were kicking the crap out of the Phillies. A lot of Yankee fans showed up. Only if the football team, only if the Giants were that good to show up in Philly.
Yeah, right.
But that's way easier said than done. Now, can the Knicks build on this lead? Because technically, they should be about up this much. They had some mistakes in the second quarter. They could be. You could argue they could also be up by more.
Oh yeah, definitely. You feel like the Knicks were kind of just missing some shots in that second quarter, bad turnovers. That's what was killing them too. But they really seemed to kind of, those last few plays really getting into a rhythm a bit.
And they're also playing a little bit through Mikal as well, having him distribute the ball, which is impressive.
Which is what you wanted to see. That's what you want to see. When Brunson's not on the floor, you want to see Mikal take over as a facilitator kind of guy because he can do it. I do wonder, is Embiid on a minutes restriction?
He has to be. He has to be because he didn't. He almost. I don't think he closed the second quarter. At least he was close not to closing the second quarter.
Yeah,
Because it's his first game. I could be wrong, but I think they would limit his minutes a bit.
This is his first game, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's on any sort of minutes restriction. That'll be something to monitor down the stretch, though.
Right. As they were looking, I should say, the doing a little mic'd up version, TNT audio assist of Tom Thibodeau giving his game plan to the bench. Same thing for Nick Nurse. But bringing up now will be Jeff Dowden. Dowden hands off to Paul George. George looking for a handoff. Defended by Anunoby, now gets a screen. George drives to the rack inside, kicks out to Martin. Martin in the corner, contested three, knocks it down. Caleb Martin from downtown. Deuce McBride will bring it up. McBride off a screen from Towns. McBride gives off to Josh Hart. Kicks to Bridges. Bridges looking, finds Towns. Mismatch is had. Towns looking to pass. Towns inside to Hart. Beautiful job by Towns with the facilitation. Great job by Hart cutting. Martin on the drive. Martin inside, righty layup, way off. Rebounded by the Knicks, but taken by Down this time. They lost track of the rebound. Yabusele from three. Shots no good. Rebound OG Anunoby. Jalen Brunson waiting to check in. Mikal Bridges in the mid-range, backing down McCain, backing him down, turns, fires, and hits. Mikal Bridges continues to cook.
That's what you like to see. Bridges having a nice little bounce back game today.
Handoff this time to George. George to the right side. George fakes, pull back, a three-pointer on the way. Shot is good. Paul George from downtown.
That's a good move. That is the Paul George move that he has been doing for As long as anyone here can remember. That is
Deuce,
something.
Deuce has it against Downton. Deuce drives, and that should be a kickball, but they're not going to call it. It's a turnover.
Paul
Reckless
George
pass
with
there.
23 so far. He's the guy to slow
McCain,
down.
shots no good. Rebounded by Deuce McBride. Josh Hart has it into Bridges. Bridges backing down Downton. Bridges backing him down, backing him down, backing him down. Turns, fires. Hits again with a lucky roll.
Bridges is starting to cook.
Leave him out there. George off the screen. Kicks to Yabusele. Yabusele off the screen. Hands off to McCain. Yabusele drives the page. Stolen by Bridges. Here comes Bridges. Kicks to Hart. Hart inside to Anunoby. Anunoby inside. Shots no good. Deflected out of bounds. And it'll be Knicks ball. Jalen Brunson will check back in for Deuce McBride. Towns checks out, and Jericho Sims checks back in.
The Knicks have 13 turnovers with 15 minutes left to play.
That's very much
Yikes.
unlike them because they're very much a control-the-ball team and very slow-paced.
Very uncharacteristic night for them.
Looking, Brunson finds Bridges, layup no good. Clearly should have been a foul. Here comes Paul George. George against Anunoby. George inside, shots no good. No foul there. Here comes Josh Hart. Hart in transition, kicks to Brunson. No, this pass is deflected.
Well
Silly
defended
pass
by
there.
OG.
Here comes
Good
Oubre
defense.
into Doughton. McCain inside, blocked by Hart, but a foul.
Wow. Jared McCain trying to kill OG right there. Oh my goodness. That was something.
So McCain will go to 2 for 3 free throw line. I think Josh Hart's been, and I'm not, disrespecting Josh Hart. I think he's played a role in some of these turnovers. I think this past some of them have been reckless.
Yes.
McCain knocks down the first free throw. Campaign also checks in. Interesting, he'll be playing alongside Jalen Brunson.
Yeah. Definitely something to watch for.
And second free throw is good from Jared McCain. Jalen Brunson will bring it up. Knicks up by 6. Brunson has it. Looks, gives to Bridges, and Oubre was out of bounds when he stole it, so it'll be Knicks ball. Let's keep an eye on Jalen Brunson here, see how mobile he is, see how active he is with that right ankle injury that sent him back to the locker room briefly.
This is Jalen Brunson. A lot of guys who are having as tough a night as he was in the first half and didn't take an injury, but just use that as a nice excuse to take the night off.
Looking is Anunoby. He finds Brunson off the inbound. Ghost screen set. Downton versus Brunson. Brunson drives right. Brunson fakes. Looking. Finds Cameron Payne. 6 to shoot. Payne drives. Payne off the glass. Shots no good. Tipped out and rebounded by Jared McCain. McCain gives to Drummond. Drummond looking for a pass. Finds Kelly Oubre. Oubre defended by Bridges. Gives to Doughton. Doughton looking. Doughton driving. Inside. Layup no good. Rebound Jericho Sims. Here comes Campaign. Payne to Brunson. Brunson drives. Inside. Lefty lay is good in transition.
Oh, I think Brunson's ankle looks okay.
McCain has it. Double screen coming. Payne attached to him. McCain inside. Layup is good. Bridges in transition this time. Pull up mid-range. In and out. Rebound by Drummond. McCain. Left to right dribble move inside to Drummond. Kicks out to the corner. McCain for three. Shots no good. Rebounded. Taken. Nice job by Payne to keep it in bounds. Here comes Brunson. Brunson looking. Finds Mikal Bridges. Defended by Doughton. Bridges backing him down. Nearly stripped and stolen. And a foul is called on Doughton Jr.
Bridges and a foul is called.
Hit him right in the armpit. It looked like Caleb Bridges was going scuba diving for that ball.
Well, I don't know what he called there on the reach, or his right arm was definitely around his hip, so that would have been easy.
Joel Embiid checks back in.
But I didn't see his motion.
Joel Embiid back on the floor.
Timeout is called.
Thibodeau wants to talk it over here. Knicks lead by 6. 2:15 remaining. Emirates NBA Cup Game 1 up for play.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I say.
And also as well, it looks like the Knicks offense operated better with, I shouldn't say better, but without Brunson on the floor, Bridges was doing a nice job of the secondary ball handling stuff.
No, definitely he was. He was creating his own looks, getting good mid-ranges, and knocking him down.
And I think, as Jeff was mentioning when we did our preview show, once Bridges kind of becomes that hybrid of what he was in Brooklyn and Phoenix, he's going to get a lot comfortable. But this is kind of like what the kind of Bridges we have wanted.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just got to give Bridges time, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Got to give him time to get adapted to everything, used to this team, used to this roster, used to playing with Brunson again, and all that, and then should all work out from there.
First meeting between the Knicks and Sixers, I think it was 1973, 473rd meeting tonight. Sixers are 264 and 208. Longest win streak by the Sixers, 15 from December of 2017 to March of 2021. As Dr. J is in the building. Also, Allen Iverson. And obviously former Knick and former Sixer Mo Cheeks being the Knicks assistant coach.
On that Knicks bench now, working on Tom Thibodeau's staff, also a Hall of Famer, a great Philadelphia 76ers.
Bridges looking to inbound. He finds Jalen Brunson. Towns back in as well. 11 to shoot. Brunson. And off of his knee. And turnover. McCain has it. Double screen coming. McCain off the drive. Kicks back to Embiid. Embiid, three-pointer on the way. Shot is no good. Rebound, Jalen Brunson. Matt Ryan also into the game. Brunson driving. Inside looking for a man. Finds Towns. Towns fakes. Towns drives. Towns pulling back his dribble. Kicks back to Bridges. Bridges for corner three. Shots no good. Rebounded by Yabusele. Here comes Embiid. Embiid, one-on-one versus Towns. Double team this time. Looking for a pass. Finds to McCain. McCain driving. McCain inside. Shots up and good and a foul. Sidestep there by McCain. Kills Payne, and Payne will be charged with the foul.
Great drive here. Excellent finish. Takes contact. He's only 4 for 11 from the floor tonight. 1 for 6 from 3. But look, he's a guy who's going to find a way.
McCain, 13 points tonight. Knocks down the free throw.
Great confidence.
Youngest player on the roster. He was part of the all-rookie team.
And Payne will bring it up 76-73. Gives to Towns. Towns looking for a man. He pans off to Brunson. Brunson Hacked and whacked. Nearly fouled. Brunson pull up three. Shot is no good. Rebound Oubre. Embiid, one-on-one versus Bridges. Stops his dribble, gives back to Kelly Oubre. Oubre defended by Towns. Gives to McCain. High pass for Embiid. Embiid inside. Layup is good.
That is a bad mismatch.
Brunson one-on-one. Looking to hedge the screen of the Sixers. Brunson versus Embiid. Brunson drives left. Brunson fakes, is fouled by Joel Embiid.
Brunson gets by Embiid, draws the contact. So savvy. Jalen Brunson stopped on a dime. Got the contact and he'll go to the line.
Listen, tough matchup for Embiid. He fights hard, tries to recover, but Brunson, one of the best players in the NBA, playing off.
Brunson 5 turnovers and 5 assists tonight with 6 points.
Free throws for Brunson.
First shot from the line, knocks it down.
Brunson has 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Make your picks with NBA Pick'em Emirates NBA competition now for your chance to win tickets for the game of the season. Play free at NBA.com/pick'em or on the NBA app. Klay Thompson from the Dallas Mavericks. That sounds weird. But he's back in San Francisco.
Brunson at the line for his second free throw.
To Golden State for 11 years.
It goes up, and it's good. 78-75 with about 44 and a half seconds to play here in the third quarter.
Stephen Curry is going to speak. And they've got a video.
Jeff Doughton brings it up.
Come back to Klay Thompson, the second of our doubleheader.
Screen coming, he rejects it. Doughton gives to Embiid. Embiid versus Towns. Embiid is blocked by Towns. Ball is taken by Yabusele. Inside, layup is no good. Offensive foul, Yabusele.
What a block by Towns. And a
And I
good job
think
by Ryan
Embiid
to draw the charge.
I think Embiid was trying to imitate Matt Ryan trying to draw the charge there. I mean, it didn't matter anyway. The ball was going to the Knicks' way because they grabbed the rebound.
His body between the ball and the basket.
Shot clock is off here. 23.1 remaining.
Deuce McBride will check in.
The Knicks with a 3-point lead. Sixers have led just twice in this
Campaign comes out for the stretch.
Knicks only trailed for 40 seconds in the first half. Deuce McBride will enter for Campaign.
There's nothing coming easy for either
Brunson will bring it up. Shot clock is turned off. Brunson versus Martin.
We saw that in the NBA Cup last year. There's more intensity than the early regular season.
Towns comes to the screen, now rejects. And complete miscommunication from Matt Ryan and Jalen Brunson. That pass is out of bounds. That's his 6th turnover.
That is the 6th turnover for Brunson. But yeah, miscommunication right there.
Communication there between Matt Ryan and Jalen Brunson.
Brunson was throwing the ball like 17 turnovers.
Yabusele checks out for the Sixers. Jericho Sims checks in. OG Anunoby checks in for the Knicks.
Philly, this is the best thing they have done so far this year defensively. His forced turnovers, and they're doing it again here tonight.
Josh Hart quickly checks in.
Forced error. And it's going to give Philadelphia a chance at the last basket.
McCain looking.
Down 3.9.
Checks into George. George at the buzzer. No good. At the end of the 3, it's 78-75 Knicks.
And that'll take us to the fourth quarter. Knicks holding off the Sixers thus far. Embiid's return to the NBA tonight. It's a 3-point New York lead as we go to the fourth. You're watching the NBA on TNT. It's presented by State Farm.
One more quarter. more quarter. If folks haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, check out the links down below, turn on the notification bell so you know when I go live or new video drops. Also, I'll be making some new content obviously the next couple days, shorts, new videos, hopefully go live a little bit more.
They're pumping.
The market's closed.
She's no city bro.
Dad, is mommy finance, bro?
She switched careers to make money for your weddings.
Ooh, penny stocks are blowing up, sweetie. Grab your piggy bank. We're going all in. Let me ask you, for your wedding, is he going a river?
Oh, it's like a zebra.
Something that your mother always wanted. Oh my God.
Or you could give these different investment options a shot.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
Keeping the best.
Jack, I'm telling you, DraftKings is the best place to bet player props.
They got it all. First buckets, points, projection.
You know what reminds me of? My favorite day from back in the day. Really? Yeah. Used to dominate the paint, scored at will.
And that go.
Lisa, the dominant Leslie. I was just talking about you. Come on, Lisa, you got next. He's going to sit on the bench.
New DraftKings customers download the app for $5 and 200 instantly in bonus. The crown is yours. Been working on my free throw.
It's big, it's back, and it's only $6. Get the fruit box y'all love today. And this holiday season, you can order a Cajun-style turkey at your local Popeye.
Let's look at the minute. I'm going to look at the minutes real quick. Let's see how we're doing. Let's see if Campaign plays more minutes. 9. Matt Ryan, 9. McBride, 20. I'm sure he'll get some more minutes. But the minutes are starting to balance out a little bit.
Just a little bit. Still looking at the large portion of the minutes going to the starters and Deuce.
Yeah.
Because it could be worse. No one could expect anything at all.
So they're looking at the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia. Since we're almost back for quarter 4.
Should be an interesting fourth quarter. It's been a good game so far. Very, very close game. Tightly packed.
So looking at Jared McCain, 5-5 from the line, 2 rebounds, 2 assists for the rookie from Duke, and 14 points off the bench. Knicks up 78-75. Down off the screen. Gives back to Embiid. Embiid 1-on-1. Hands off to McCain. McCain drives to the paint. Contested jumper. Shots no good. Rebound Karl Anthony Towns. Knicks starters out on the floor. Brunson gets a screen from Towns. Rejects it. Goes to his right. Brunson drives. Layup inside. Blocked by Embiid. And taken there by Yabusele. Embiid stops his dribble. Looking. Finds Yabusele. Backing down Towns. Yabusele looks. Ball is stripped. And I think they could call an offensive foul on Yabusele for the elbow. Hart has the ball, gets Towns off the screen. Towns for 3. Shots no good. Rebounded by Yabusele.
How about the Celtics? They've just lost to the Hawks.
Really?
Yes.
Embiid against Towns. McCain 1-on-1 off the screen. Kicks to Embiid. Embiid back handoff again to McCain. McCain drives the paint. Kicks to Yabusele. Mid-range jumper open. Shots no good. Rebound Josh Hart. Hart football pass up ahead to Anunoby for the dunk.
Is Yabusele hitting a jumper today?
I think he hit a corner 3 earlier.
Yeah, that's about it.
OG Anunoby, 18 points and 5 rebounds. Ball nearly stolen by Deuce, nearly stripped again. McCain to Embiid, back to McCain. McCain off the screen to the right. Double team, kicks to the corner. I should say the wing. Yabusele misses. Rebound Josh Hart. Hart looking to push in transition, gives to Deuce McBride. McBride one-on-one versus Oubre. McBride retreating. One-on-one. Hands to Towns. Towns one-on-one. Drives to his left. Towns on the drive. Towns backing down. And offensive foul on Karl Anthony Towns.
This has been a sloppy fourth quarter for both teams.
That's, I believe, his fourth. And Oubre was coming a double, and Towns was about to turn to pass. Oh, is Embiid bleeding? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't. You bitchy ass play style. But we go to timeout real quick.
Who challenged this one?
Yeah, unless they review it for like a hostile act. Either the Knicks are challenging it or they're reviewing this.
Well, the commentator said that the challenge light was on,
Oh,
so maybe the Knicks are challenging.
sadly, I think they're not going to overturn this. They should, but they won't.
Well, Thibodeau probably figures to use your challenge in a situation like this where you can swing the momentum in your favor.
Tonight we have pride of West Africa. It brings together the Ghanaian, the Senegalese, and the Nigerian. Jollof rice. So what jollof rice is for best? Ghana jollof. Yeah, jollof. It's called Unity Jollof Rice. One people, one jollof.
Somebody said on Twitter, no one should have an issue with OG's contract.
I'm sorry, say that again about OG's contract?
No, somebody said on Twitter, nobody should have an issue with OG's contract. I think so too. He's been fine.
Yeah, you get a contract like that with your impact. It's not about the numbers. It's not all about averaging 25 points a game or something like that. Like it's, he makes an impact like no other.
But to be fair out there as well, like let's go back to the play. Like Towns was blindsided by Oubre, and it's like Embiid was being physical with him. So it's like you can't just see it from the obvious perspective. Oh, Oubre fell down, so that's obviously an offensive foul. But he was blindsided, and Towns was just looking to pass. It's not like Towns bopped him in the head.
Yeah, very weird play.
So we're still awaiting this challenge. And you got to give the offensive player space to move a little bit.
No, yeah.
Which brother? The older brother, duh. You're only older by a minute. That's a minute a month. What?
Our son just needs car insurance.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The State Farm agent can help you choose the right coverage.
Let's get to NYG or Unpopular Opinion Sports. Kenny, what's up to him? Hope all is well, bro. I see your Nets are playing really well. Obviously, they're not playing tonight. But even with a really young team and a really young coach, they're coaching. Their coach is coaching his ass off. Coach is coaching his ass off. They're playing really well. So nothing to hate about that. But it looks like I think the Knicks got the ball back here, Dylan. So they might have overturned the call.
Wow. All right, then.
Oubre heads to the bench. I think they must have called a foul on him. Deuce McBride hands into Karl Anthony Towns. Towns hands to OG Anunoby. Anunoby drives into the baseline, kicks out to McBride. McBride knocks down a corner three.
Good pass from OG.
Downton Jr. along the wing. Gives to Joel Embiid. Embiid double teamed. Kicks to the top of the key. Gives back to McCain. Back to Embiid. Embiid face-up game. Shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Deuce McBride. Here comes Brunson. Brunson 1-1.
Embiid has been short on all of his jumpers.
Brunson on the drive. Lefty layup is good. Goes right past Embiid. Knicks up 10.
Good move.
85-75. McCain switched on to OG. Drives into the middle of the floor. Kick stolen by Brunson. Good defensive play right there. Here comes Brunson looking. Brunson 1-on-1. Retreats. Gets a screen from Towns to the left. Brunson playing with Embiid. 11 to shoot. Gives to McBride. Back to Anunoby. Anunoby drives baseline. Inside for the dunk. Timeout Sixers.
Nice baseline drive. Now they've pushed it to 12. That's largest lead in the game, I think, right?
Yes. Largest lead is 12. OG, I think, has 20 points now. Yep, 20 points.
So sharing the same taste after all these years stays sweet.
So Knicks are up 12. Still got to close it out.
That's an 11-0 run for the Knicks, by the way.
Keep this run going. So somebody, this was back when OG got paid in June. Somebody's like, basically made a mockery of him getting paid. And somebody's like, oh, somebody tweeted now, oh, I know, bro. OG's getting underpaid.
Shoot, at this point, dude. I mean, he's making an impact everywhere right now.
Yeah. NYG says, yeah, it's funny because people are actually mad because the Nets have been winning. It seems New York teams can't win or lose the right way. In terms of, I guess, NYG, the Nets, some Nets fans want to tank, but listen, I mean, they're playing well right now. Like, again, what's the goal? Do you just want to evaluate this year and see what you can draft next year? Are you guys praying for Cooper Flagg? Are you trying to trade for his future star? I mean, it's kind of an evaluative year, like, again, because you have a new coach. Obviously, the same general manager, but Nets are an interesting spot. They have young players. They also have assets they could trade off at the deadline. Dorian Finney-Smith, Bojan Bogdanovic. Probably forgetting a name, but still, they have a young team with some veteran players they could trade off. Use more draft picks. Just kind of reset the foundation that they had, I guess, similar to what they had in 2016, 2017, 2018. When they had a lot of young players, Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, D'Angelo Russell, that kind of thing.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Well, let's see how the Knicks respond out of the timeout. If they continue to pour it on or if they loosen up. You don't want to take your foot off the gas. You want to get going again. Something that I think is worth noting is that all 5 starters are in double figures again.
Yes, that's a very good sign. Back to action is Caleb Martin looking, and that's an illegal screen on Joel Embiid. That was Easy as them all. He should have been called for an illegal screen earlier, but now he is called for an illegal screen now. As Deuce McBride almost went, pretty much went flying. McBride gives to Jalen Brunson. Brunson off the screen. 1-on-1 against McCain. Brunson kicks to the corner. Josh Hart fakes. Hart drives baseline. Looking. Finds Towns. Towns floaters up. It's good. Karl Anthony Towns gives the Knicks a 14-point lead.
Good push shot from Towns.
Martin defended on the wing by Josh Hart. Screen coming. Hart, I should say, Caleb Martin drives and gets the basket. 89-77. Brunson goes right. Brunson 1-on-1 versus Martin. Screen coming from Towns. Brunson fakes. Brunson had an open lane for a second. Pulls back for two. Shots no good. Tipped up and taken by Paul George. I thought Towns was open for a second, rolling to the basket. And that pass, Paul George just ran into his own man. OG Anunoby inside for the dunk.
Good transition offense, and OG just dunks everything, apparently.
Yeah, it's like Philly.
Look at OG
Playing in
Anunoby.
Wells Fargo lights a fire under his ass. Paul George to drives, kicks to Embiid. Embiid, three-pointers up, three-pointer in and out, rebounded by Jalen Brunson. Brunson has it. Brunson off a screen. Gives to Towns. Towns defended by Paul George. Has the mismatch to work with. Towns backing down. Towns backing down. Hook shot. No good. Rebounded by Embiid. I prefer he passed the ball that time. George in transition. George off the screen to the left. Pulls up for three. Shots no good. Long rebound to Towns. Towns doing some dribbling this time. Towns fakes. Gives to McBride. McBride pull up three. Shots no good. Rebounded by Martin. George along the wing. Right up against Towns. George kicks to the corner. McCain fakes. Three-pointers up. Three-pointers good. Brunson went for the fake again. Timeout Knicks.
Well, this has been a good run for the Knicks. I will say that. This has been a very good run. You know, Thibodeau won the challenge, and ever since he won the challenge, they're on a This is an 11-5 run, which doesn't look that big, but at one point this was an 11-0 run. So they have really stepped it up. Something I just noticed too, looking at the ESPN thing here, Andre Drummond is coming in for Embiid. I wonder if that's the minutes restriction.
Probably is. I'm getting like 1,000 email notifications for whatever reason. But yeah.
This has also been a meltdown of a quarter, though, for Philadelphia. This has been a meltdown.
I mean, McCain's been the one plus side with that three-pointer, but
he's been the one plus for them, really. Him and Paul George have been the only pluses all game for them, but Paul George has been quiet in the second half. PG had, 17 at halftime? And he's only scored 6 in the second half. So,
yeah. Somebody called OG on Twitter OG Dunkanobi.
I'm waiting for the day OG has a bad game and somebody says OG and a nobody.
Brunson off a screen to the right. He takes that screen. Brunson retreats, gives to Towns. Towns drives into the paint. Towns inside. Shot is up and no good, but a foul. Paul George is stunned by that call. I wish it was a little smoother.
That is one thing I really like about Towns, man. His aggressiveness, the way he just gets in there. I mean, you know, this is a guy who most of his game is centered around the three ball, but watching him be able to go inside and be aggressive too, that's something. And he's kind of cooled off since that hot start that he had. He really was killing them in the first quarter. I don't know what happened though.
Towns misses the free throw.
A rare miss from Towns.
And I feel as though, like when Towns plays with reckless abandon on the offensive side of the ball, but also like to a small critique, his driving style is not very smooth, but he's a very rugged player.
Oh yeah, definitely.
George off a screen, fakes, pass deflected, out to Martin, back to McCain. McCain for three, shot is good. Knicks could not collect the deflection that time, and their lead is cut to 9.
Jared McCain is something else. This man is more than a TikToker, guys.
Brunson drives. Brunson in the paint. Inside. Gets through the defense. At least 3 players and scores.
Oh, what a move. Whew. Jalen Brunson.
George on
What
the
a move.
drive. George, step back, mid-range jumper. No good. Rebound Towns. Brunson will bring it up. Brunson,
Good
one-on-one.
defense, OG.
Screen from Towns. Brunson fakes. Brunson into the paint. Inside. Shots no good. Rebounded by McCain. Here comes McCain in transition. Gives to Lowry. Lowry, pull up
Lot of
3.
contact
Shots no
there.
good. Rebound Bridges. Bridges one-on-one. Screen to the left for Bridges. Bridges on the drive. Bridges in the mid-range. Fakes. Pull-up jumper. In and out. Rebound Towns. Towns looking for a way out. Towns battling. Towns fakes. Kicks. Finds Hart. Open for 3. Yes! Josh Hart from the wing. Knicks up
Wow.
14 with
What a
4:33 to
pass.
play.
Whew. What a pass by Towns.
Brunson switched on to George. George one-on-one. Double team this time. Pass nearly deflected inside of Drummond. Drummond is fouled. So Drummond will head to the free throw line. Josh Hart is like, nah, I didn't foul.
Andre Drummond is fouled? Well, that's advantage for us.
Drummond this season, a 52% free throw shooter. Drummond at the line, misses the first. And Philly fans head for the exits.
Make your picks with NBA Pick'em, Emirates NBA Cup edition now for your chance to win tickets to a game this
What a
Drummond.
turnaround for the Knicks, though. I mean, what a second half.
Oh, yeah. Give them credit. They started out the fourth quarter sloppy. Now they've opened up the lead. Brunson battling against Martin. Martin playing with reckless abandon. Brunson drives to the rack, Euro step, and is fouled. Brunson taking it right to the Sixers defense. Lowry upset with the call.
Brunson's got 12, 6 players in double figures for the Knicks.
This is quickly becoming a blowout.
Keep pumping. Keep pumping the blowout.
Knicks back home tomorrow to take on the Bulls. And then they
Free throws knocked down by Brunson. He'll have another.
Brooklyn Friday and Sunday. They got a nice little 3-game homestand coming. They've been on the road a ton already.
Brunson tied third most of his career with 6 turnovers, but has 13 points and 5 assists. Brunson at the line for his second free throw. It's up, and it's good. Knicks lead by 15. Kyle Lowry will bring it up. Lowry looking for a man. George with the cross screen. George against Anunoby. Anunoby playing with reckless abandon, trying to fight through the screen. George for 3. Shots way off. Rebound to Lowry. And Lowry is fouled by Mikal Bridges. And he'll go to the line for 2.
Well, now at this stage of the game, you just need to look to just kill some clock, get a couple more baskets, and close this one out.
College hoops coming up. Stan, Friday, while you're on your boat in Orlando, I'll be with Grant Hill and Jared Greenberg.
Lowry knocks down the first.
Tips off with Virginia. Take it on Villanova Friday at 5 Eastern on TNT and Memphis. So love the Raiders.
Villanova's struggling a little bit to start this year. Lost today to St. Joseph's.
Second free throw's up, and it's good. Jalen Brunson will bring it up. Brunson 1-on-1 versus Martin. Townsend comes with a screen to the right. Brunson rejects it. Mikal Bridges back to Anunoby, back to Hart, back to Towns, and a foul is called against the Sixers. Let's look at Josh Hart's box score. Hart has 2 assists away from a triple-double.
Hart has been really, really good this year, and I feel like that's getting overlooked as well. I mean, this was a guy that we were saying maybe should come off the bench, but so far he's been very good this year offensively, which is surprising, to say the least.
Towns hands off to Josh Hart, and Paul's deflected out of bounds. Still Nick Ball. Towns looking, finds Brunson cutting inside, kicks out to Hart. Corner 3, shot's no good, rebounded by Caleb Martin. Martin, 1-on-1 versus Anunoby. Martin drives baseline, kicks to McCain. McCain for 3 this time, no good, rebounded by Towns. And Jalen Brunson will bring it up. Brunson on the drive. Brunson nearly lost it. Brunson slow it down now, and he stops and starts. Kicks to Hart, back to Towns. Towns, one-handed. Oh, behind the back to Bridges. Wow.
What a pass. Oh, my.
George, step back, contested 3, knocks it down. To the right, Brunson fields to Bridges, back to Anunoby, back to Hart. Ball's moving. Towns for 3. No good, rebounded by George. George 1-on-1, fakes, gives back to Lowry, back to McCain, and back to Drummond, back to McCain again for 3, knocks it down. Brunson 1-on-1. Rejects the screen. Brunson double team. Kicks to Towns. Towns driving to the basket. Towns inside. And they're going to say a foul might have been called there. So
that's big.
Bring the Knicks in the
stop
ball.
any sort of momentum that they could have had.
Towns at the line for 2, 17 points tonight. Knocks down the first. Almost kind of like a no-look pass.
Yeah.
So, an update from the Detroit game, by the way. Interesting. Wild ending. Cade Cunningham found Jalen Duren for a game-tying lob at the end of overtime. Alley-oop, should I say. Eric Spoelstra called a timeout that he didn't have, gifting the Pistons a technical free throw.
Wow.
Taste is not an option. Taste is everything. 1800, the world's most awarded tequila.
This is the Google Pixel 9. These are some restaurants Dan just suggested, and this is you holding down a button and having Gemini put
That
these
I gotta say, as somebody else said on Twitter, that pass was Jokic-like.
That works.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Again, make that happen a lot, where you got the defense rotating and Mikal Bridges open for a cut. Give me that every time. Take the open spots.
Insider, from exclusive lounges to immersive dining experiences, all with Chase Sapphire Reserve.
I guess see how many assists Towns has. Towns has 6 assists. Good for him.
Underrated passing, bro. Underrated passer.
Well, he gives up an off-the-ball threat, a guy who can come off screens. Doncic and Irving are guys who want to play off the dribble. And Klay Thompson, again, a spot-up shooter, as we know. He gives him an entirely different element.
Towns back at the free throw line for his second.
Warriors, along with Cavaliers, have probably been the two
Joel Embiid on the bench.
in the early going. I think the
Yeah, that minutes restriction kicked in.
struggle a little bit this year, but they're 8-2, and like the Knicks, they've only played 3 home games. Now tonight, they
Another free throw knocked down by Karl Anthony Towns.
start for the Warriors.
Mavericks are 5-5. They're trying to set up a 2-game.
McCain hands off to Lowry. Back out to George. Screen coming from Drummond to the left. They hedge. Gives back to Lowry to Drummond. Drummond inside is stripped, but a foul. And Hart's saying challenge that.
Ooh.
And I think they are going to challenge that.
Ooh, that looked like all ball in real time.
I mean, it'd be fine if you have Drummond at the free throw line, but it's even better if it's not a foul.
Yeah. And then you get the ball back. Looking good for the Knicks, man.
Any NBA play can inspire. With 3 months of NBA League Pass with FanDuel, you're about to get a whole lot more inspiration. So if you think they're going to rock the rim right out of the gates, or if you want to RSVP to the club, or you think it's going to start raining threes, FanDuel has more ways to bet on players so you can make your lunches happen. Right now, new customers bet $5 get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Plus, all customers get 3 months of NBA League Pass on us. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. It's turning time in the NBA. And everyone's going for the Emirates NBA Cup. Big time matchup.
Again, guys, if you're new here, hit the like button, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Should be back with more Knicks content. I'll probably have out a recap for tomorrow's game when the Knicks face off against the Bulls. And then the Knicks will be playing Friday and Sunday versus the Brooklyn Nets. Should be some recaps for those as well.
Well, clearly great play here. Clean steal by Josh Hart. No idea who has got the ball. No even in possession. So we'll have a jump ball. We get to 2 at half court. And look, we mentioned it earlier, but the guys that have these jobs on NBA teams to advise coaches on whether to challenge or not, those are huge jobs. And the earlier you get challenged,
So it seems as though they've overturned the call.
Yeah, they did.
Knicks up by 11. They have the ball at center court for a jump.
and those are the good plays for them. The Knicks go 2 for 2 tonight, unchallenged.
Well, we've had 4 challenges, and 3 of them.
Ball goes up, and Brunson will get it.
So it'll be a jump ball, center circle here, 142 left.
Brunson goes right. Brunson to Hart to Towns. Towns inside gets the layup to go. Knicks up 13.
As they return to the square yard, Towns finishes at the net. Nice pass in there by Josh Hart.
Josh Hart now 1 assist away for the triple-double.
George defended by OG Anunoby. Knicks try to hedge. George contested 3, knocks it down.
Purely a window dressing 3.
Josh Hart will bring it up. Josh Hart gives to Towns. Towns defended by Drummond. Towns jab step. Towns battling. Hands off to Bridges. Back to Hart. Back to Anunoby. Anunoby fakes. Anunoby drives. Inside. Shot is good. How the hell did he make that?
Hey.
George fakes. Gives to Martin. Martin fakes. Martin drives. Gets an open layup to the basket.
What a win for the Knicks. What a win.
Brunson battling, and he's fouled by Martin. He'll get 2 free throws.
What a win for the Knicks. Nice little bounce back win after a really tough loss against the Pacers. Things are looking good once again in Knicks land.
Brunson at the line. First free throw is good. Sixers start to empty their bench.
You know, have we lost a game in our streams together?
I don't think so.
I don't think we have. Like, I'm thinking about it. I don't think we've
Yeah.
lost a game. And I think that goes for, I think the only game that we ever lost together was the Giants game. But the Giants stuck. The Giants stink. So I mean,
Yeah.
but for Knicks and Yankees, I think we're undefeated so far.
And if we're not undefeated, we have a pretty good winning record.
Yep.
Martin driving on Hart. Martin inside gets the layup to go. And it cuts down their lead to 10. As that will pretty much do it. Jalen Brunson will bring up the ball. Clock is winding down. The Knicks will win this opening game of the NBA in-season tournament. Brunson actually puts up a floater in garbage time with no shot clock. Make that a 111.99. You rarely see that. And that will do it. The Knicks win this game 111.99. First game of the NBA's in-season tournament for Group A. And more importantly, the Knicks even themselves up at 500 with a win today against the Sixers, 111.99 after a bad loss against the Indiana Pacers on Sunday. So, Dylan, do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, this was a great game. You know, big Knicks win. They needed this after that Pacers loss. You know, I thought really you saw great defense being played for once, which was something they needed. I mean, you gave up 130 points to the Pacers last game. You gave up 99 to the Sixers tonight. You didn't let Joel Embiid go crazy in his debut. Paul George had a solid game, but you limited him in the second half. Jared McCain was kind of the only one for Philadelphia that was really getting going, but by the time he really started to hit late, it was already too late for them. The Knicks in the fourth quarter finally had a good fourth quarter.
Yes.
That is the one quarter that has been killing them all season so far. And this time they just dominated them in the fourth quarter. I mean, they went on that 11-0 run, and they never looked back. They didn't look back from there. And Knicks just took over, won this game pretty handily towards the end, and you know, just really, really inspiring performance because you know Jalen Brunson couldn't buy a bucket in the first half. Then he tweaked his ankle to start the second half. Things started to look a little bleak. Then he came back and he started making shots. The rest of the guys started making shots. OG Anunoby had a great game overall once again, another 20-point outing. Deuce McBride once again effective off the bench. Josh Hart with a triple-double, by the way, which I don't think anyone mentioned yet, but Josh Hart had a triple-double. So really just everyone doing their part. Everyone did their roles. Mikal Bridges had a nice little bounce-back game. Really, really good performance. And I think this is a good one to really set the tone and get yourself started out with the easier part of the schedule ahead. You don't want to get complacent. You want to keep your foot on the gas, but this was a good win. Good way to start it off.
Yeah, it was a little bit sloppy in some parts, but Dylan is right. This is a good win. Shoutouts to players like Karl Anthony Towns. You know, didn't make his game up with just the shooting aspect, but the passing was unbelievable. I think he racked up like 7 assists, I believe. Also, as well, just the defensive aspect. I thought he was solid on that end of the floor tonight. You also had Deuce McBride coming off the bench with critical minutes in terms of scoring and defense. Shouts to Mikal Bridges as well. I thought this was probably close to his best game as a Knick, offensively and defensively. OG Anunoby was terrific. Jalen Brunson started to bounce back a little bit towards the fourth quarter, probably when the game was over. So you like to see better out of him. Hopefully that ankle's okay. And Josh Hart as well. He contributed to a lot of the turnovers, but he also got the Knicks running in transition. So that's a good sign to see. And also the Knicks got some breathers because Tibbs finally opened the rotation to a 9-man, and that's very key as well. So hopefully the Knicks stick with the 9-man rotation going forward till the players from injuries get back. But regardless, the Knicks win this one 111.99. tomorrow's game, they will be playing the Chicago Bulls at home at Madison Square Garden. I'll be sure to have a recap of that. But regardless, if you guys haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Turn on that notification bell so you know when I go live or I drop a new video. Also, as well, bring some shorts as well. And also check out the links below: Dylan's links, Donald's links, Hot Hand Theory's links. More to come from this Knicks Cast channel. But if you guys haven't already, I should say, if I haven't already, thank you all for the support. Really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Let's go Knicks.